It's Tuesday, February 3rd. Today, a family crying out for answers. Why they believe a misdiagnosis and delay in care led to their mother's death. And a long-awaited inquest, a hearing into the death of a teenager fatally shot by police, begins. Also, an unwelcome eye in the sky. The community watch group searching for answers in Kleefeld. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It is Tuesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Ainsley McPhail is live at Fort White Alive today. She's going to have some fun. Apparently, there's something called turtle tours. We're going to find out what that is, but she's also going to do some ice fishing or tell us a little bit about ice fishing and what you need to get started, because not everybody gets to go ice fishing on a lake somewhere. Well, Fort White Alive will have all the tools you need to be able to do that right in the city. And so it's going to be a really fun experience. We're going to find out more from her. But if you're going to spend some time outside, you might need to warm up or dress up.
Layer up a little bit. I know, even when I was on my way into work this morning, I was talking with my cab driver. He's like, I thought it was going to warm up, but it's still cold. It is still chilly this morning. I think we're going to see those improvements throughout the day. Today, we are likely to maybe even climb to above seasonal values. But starting out this morning, pretty much bang on what you would expect for this time of year. We're sitting at minus 22. But it does feel like minus 30. That's once you're factoring in that south-southwest wind. It's light, only 9 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 82%. Once again, with those fairly clear conditions, we were enjoying the moon as we were driving into work. I was just riding. Passenger princess here. Anyway, we're going to see those clouds building up throughout the day. So while it was clear last night and earlier this morning, we are going to be seeing a little bit of a change, and not just with the clouds moving in. You can see some flurries tucked in there as well. So many of us will perhaps see a little bit of light snow throughout the day as well. As far as the temperatures go, though, I mean, we're starting out with fairly seasonal values, and it will be warming up throughout the day today. Minus 10 would be a normal daytime high. We could surpass that, not by much, getting to a high of about minus 9. It might not happen till around supper time. And there you can see the activity that we could perhaps be dealing with today. A little bit of light and scattered flurry activity. These heavier clouds lingering overnight. Another round of snow moving through tomorrow, mainly through central and northern Manitoba. We might see just a little light dusting of what's to come tomorrow, but the heavier clouds are still probably going to linger for a couple of days. I mentioned seasonal, minus 10, so just above it today. Still looks like we've got some really warm weather coming our way, dipping by the end of the week on Friday with the sunshine returning, but back up above seasonal as we look ahead to the weekend.
Thank you, Terry. A major fire on Salter Street forced emergency crews to shut down the road Monday evening near Mountain Avenue. The call came in to the fire department around 4:15 p.m. A 2.5-story duplex in the 400 block of Salter was on fire. When firefighters arrived, smoke was pouring out of the building. They went inside the house and launched an interior attack on the blaze. While they were inside, they also managed to rescue a cat from the home. No one was injured, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. An 18-year-old man is facing charges after a worker at Manitoba Hydro Place was assaulted by a man with a knife. It happened Friday night to a Hydro employee who was leaving work for the day. According to the police, the victim was knocked to the ground, but managed to disarm the suspect before several bystanders stepped in to help until officers arrived. The suspect, who's been released on an undertaking, is charged with possession of a weapon and assault with a weapon. Hydro is taking preventative security measures in light of the incident.
Well, it's shocking to have a violent incident like that happen here. It's a public space, but it's also our workplace, and our employees have a reasonable expectation to be able to come and go from work safely. So for the time being, we've locked the doors. It's not open to the public for the time being until we've reviewed our security measures and can ensure that such a thing doesn't happen again.
Police say the victim sustained minor injuries. An East Kildonan family is devastated. They claim their mother was misdiagnosed during a recent ER visit to St. Boniface Hospital. And as CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows you, they believe that mistake led to her death.
Maybe she could still be here today.
Heartbreak, anger, and endless questions for the family of Winnipeg resident Judy Burns. Her daughter Chelsea Mann says her 68-year-old mother was the anchor in her family.
Our mom was definitely our best friend, for one. We spent every morning calling her, me and my son, FaceTime.
According to Mann, her mother was brought to St. Boniface ER in the early morning hours of January 18th after she was found delirious, not responsive, and pale. While she didn't wait long in the ER waiting room, doctors at first found her dehydrated and later diagnosed her with diverticulosis. But the family wanted an endoscopy right away.
She wasn't okay. They told us multiple times, your mom is going to be fine. She's going to be going home in 48 hours.
But that didn't happen. Her family stayed with her throughout the day, but by that night, she had a stroke and went into cardiac arrest, according to the family. Mann says an endoscopy was then performed, and a small ulcer in her mother's small intestine was found. Despite a quick surgery, Burns was placed in a medically induced coma.
Our mom did survive the surgery, and we were told that unfortunately, she was bleeding internally all day. I think if a scope would have happened done sooner, our mom would still be here.
The family believes the delay in treatment caused her to deteriorate. Burns' family made the hard decision to remove life support 3 days later, and their mom died.
I left that hospital saying bye to her, thinking I would see her again, and by the time I got there at 8:30 at night, she was already on life support.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Health Minister Uzama Azaguera says the province is working to determine if Mann's death meets the criteria for a critical incident. 3 junior hockey players were killed in a car crash in Alberta on their way to practice.
We now ask you to please rise if you're able. Join us in observing a moment of silence in remembrance of these 3 young men.
A moment of silence was held last night at the Calgary Flames game. The crash happened near the town of Stavely at around 11 yesterday morning. 18-year-old Cameron Casorso and 18-year-old JJ Wright, both from Kamloops, were killed. 17-year-old Caden Fine from Birmingham, Alabama, was also killed in the crash. They played for the Southern Alberta Mustangs. The 3 teenagers were killed when the car they were in collided with a gravel truck. In a social media post, their team writes, quote, "There are no words that can adequately express the depth of our grief. These young men were more than hockey players. They were teammates, sons, brothers, friends, and deeply loved members of our Mustangs family and the communities we call home. It's a feeling that the Humboldt Broncos know all too well." They also released a statement writing in part, "We stand with you, we mourn with you, we are with you." Prime Minister Mark Carney writes in a post, "Canadians are keeping the entire Southern Alberta Mustangs community in our thoughts." The driver of the gravel truck was treated for minor injuries. An investigation into what exactly happened is still underway. Canada's Jeremy Hansen will not be heading to space this month after NASA delayed the launch of its Artemis 2 rocket. Yesterday's critical fuel test stalled out with about 5 minutes and 15 seconds left in the countdown. NASA made the call to delay the launch this morning after multiple fuel leaks during the test. It's now looking at a new launch date, possibly as early as March 6th. It's also possible it may not happen until April. Hansen and the other 3 members of the crew will be moved out of quarantine. NASA plans to use the extra time to review the data and try another fuel test. A new bag policy is in effect at casinos of Winnipeg properties. The maximum allowable bag size is 14 by 14 by 6 inches. We're told the change was made to improve safety. The policy says restricting bag size means security won't have to spend as much time checking bags for prohibited items. Exceptions will be considered for medically necessary items. All bags are subject to search regardless of the size. The Canoe government has stepped in to take control of a South Winnipeg personal care home. Golden Door Geriatric Center is a 78-bed personal care home. The government says in March it provided a closure notice and the owners stopped accepting new admissions. As a result, 25 beds were sitting vacant at the end of January. The Canoe government says it tried to negotiate with the owners to acquire the facility, but couldn't come to an agreement. So the government decided to expropriate the center. The province has appointed an interim management team to run the facility and restore the home to full operating capacity. We talked a lot about groundhogs yesterday. Of course, the most important one, Manitoba Murph, saw his shadow, but we didn't talk about polar bears. The Toronto Zoo's polar bear Hudson has improbably predicted we've had enough of winter and that there will be an early spring. He really thought about there being 6 more weeks of winter, but perhaps even polar bears have had enough of the recent polar-like conditions in Toronto. All right, here's a look right now at what's happening at Confusion Corner. It looks like things are moving quite well starting off this Tuesday morning. Overall, the street's looking pretty good this morning. If you see any problems, let us know, please. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at Fort White Alive this morning. Good morning.
Rochelle, I hear that you are above a master angler when it comes to fishing.
Yes, I'm a specialized master angler. That's what I'm called. Apparently, there's lots of us, though, out there.
That's absolutely incredible. I only have the wood right now. Not too close to the hole. Joined by turtle tours all morning long, a ice fishing experience that started off in Riding Mountain, so you might have done it there, but it has come to Fort Whyte Alive, not too far from the downtown core, really, so you can get this experience in an urban area. We're going to be learning about some of the teas that are locally sourced that you can enjoy. We're going to be learning about some Indigenous storytelling, really connecting back to culture and educating folks as they do it. So stay with us throughout the morning. I don't think I'll be getting the specialist title like our Rochelle, but I'll do my absolute best.
Looks great. It looks like a fun morning for you. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go now to Terry out on the rooftop. How's it feeling?
Yeah, hi, I am. I'm out on the roof this morning. It's cold. Those are the numbers that we're seeing as far as temperatures or wind chill values go, pardon me. Let's talk first about some of the temperatures that we're experiencing right now, because we're actually right on par with what is normal for this time of year. I mean, close to it, minus 21. That would be a normal low. Did I say minus 21? I meant minus 21 would be normal. We're sitting at minus 22. It got mixed up in my head. Pardon me. Anyway, it's feeling like minus 28 out here. Slight improvements with the wind chill. The winds, they are very light, just 7 kilometers per hour out of the south. The pressure rising, humidity sitting at 82%, and it is still quite clear out here. Feeling pretty chilly though. Ooh. I had my big hood up. Honestly, this hood, look how far back I am in the hood. But it kind of blocks the vision. It does tunnel vision. And I've been standing out here and didn't even realize the moon is right up above me, looking gorgeous. Yes, we are waking up to some clear conditions this morning. Beautiful start to your day as far as the sky conditions go. Just throw those extra layers on if you actually want to come out and see what I'm seeing with that beautiful moon. Just in a slight waning phase, but pretty much still on the fuller side. Anyway, clear conditions for the morning, but clouds will build through the day, and then we're likely to see some snow across the province through the afternoon. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
Good morning. A long-awaited inquest into the police shooting of 16-year-old Aisha Hudson got underway Monday with statements from her family. The Indigenous teen was shot and killed in April of 2020 following a liquor store robbery and police pursuit. As CTV's Jeff Keel reports, the inquest will look at whether systemic racism played a role in her death and if the use of force was appropriate.
16-year-old Aisha Hudson was shot and killed by police following a high-speed chase that ended here at Lagimodiere and Fermor. Now, almost 6 years later, an inquest into her death is underway.
Aisha Hudson deserves justice.
The hearing began with a traditional ceremony and opening statements by family members.
It's just painful just listening to the experience of the family and just hearing the hurt and the pain.
Hudson, an Indigenous teen, was fatally shot by police in April 2020 after a robbery at a Sage Creek liquor mart and a chase with a stolen Jeep. The vehicle she was driving crashed into another vehicle at Lagimodiere Boulevard in Fermor. The inquest will examine whether the use of force was appropriate and if systemic racism played a role. The province's Grand Chief hopes recommendations from the inquest will lead to changes to prevent this from happening again.
We're not looking for, any criminal or liable decisions, I guess, so to speak, within this process. We're just looking at the systemic change.
Manitoba's police watchdog, the Independent Investigation Unit, cleared police in 2021 of any criminal liability.
This investigation was a complete and thorough review of all available evidence. I'm satisfied that no stone was left unturned.
NDP MP Leah Gazan also wants to change how police are investigated. She feels the IIU is not fully independent.
I don't think former police officers, people that are involved in the system, are an impartial voice.
We have some sad news to pass along. Peter Young, the legendary former CTV Winnipeg sportscaster, has died.
When you want to know about sports, you need to know about Peter Young.
Peter Young started working part-time at CKY, as we were then known, back in 1974. After just 6 weeks on the job, he became sports director. In the many years that followed, Young would cement his place in the Winnipeg sports scene, doing things such as play-by-play for the Jets, the Goldeyes, and much more. This past November, Young was inducted into the Manitoba Sports Writers and Sportscasters Association Media Roll of Honor. Peter Young died Monday afternoon with his family by his side after a long battle with cancer. The province is offering free hepatitis A vaccines to Peguis First Nations members. It comes amid an ongoing outbreak across the province. Health officials say as of January 18th, there have been 308 cases of hepatitis A in Manitoba. Peguis First Nation members, visitors, and close contacts of 6 months of age and older are now eligible for the free vaccine. It includes anyone traveling to or working in Peguis First Nation, and for those who have household visitors from the community. The vaccine is already available for the communities of Garden Hill, St. Teresa Point, Wasagamak, and Red Sucker Lake. Health officials say the overall risk of exposure for the general public is low. MP in the House of Commons have voted unanimously to fast-track the Liberals' GST relief bill.
See it back in the House on Wednesday so we can provide real relief expeditiously for families. Now, if you work here, you know that that's lightning speed.
It was the Conservatives who put forward the motion to fast-track the bill. It's aimed at putting more money in the pockets of Canadians to help with grocery bills. The Parliamentary Budget Office estimates the cost will come out to more than $12 billion over 6 years. The bill is expected to pass the House tomorrow before heading to the Senate. U.S. President Donald Trump says talks are ongoing with Iran amid rising tensions and fears of an American attack on the country.
Right now we're talking to them, we're talking to Iran, and if we can work something out, that'd be great, and if we can't, probably bad things would happen.
Trump has continued to make threats of attacks on Iran since the Iranian government carried out a violent crackdown on anti-government protesters last month. All this happening as the U.S. continues its military buildup in the Middle East. Reuters is reporting that both the U.S. and Iran will resume nuclear talks on Friday in Turkey as Washington carries out further ambitions to curb Tehran's alleged nuclear ambitions. A setback for Canada's Olympic figure skating team. 2024 world champions Diana Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps will not compete in the team event at Milan Cortina. The Canadian Olympic Committee says Stellato-Dudek was injured during training. Canadian champions Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud will compete in the pairs portion of the team event instead. The Olympic torch relay is nearing its end, but not before a visit to Lake Como. The Flame has been on a 12,000-kilometer trip around Italy ahead of the opening ceremony. While visiting Lake Como, the Flame and the torchbearer got to hitch a ride on a boat for a scenic trip. The 2026 Winter Games open Friday. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The southbound curb lane on Furby Street will be closed from Furby Place to Portage. Following the rush, the northbound curb lane on Yonge Street will be closed between Ellis and Sargent, and the eastbound curb lane on Notre Dame Avenue will be closed from King Edward to Keewatin Street. If you see any other traffic issues, text them to us, please, at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
All right, we're looking now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bath Fitter, the exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. It's exclusive. And the conditions this morning seeming a little bit chilly, but really is what you would expect for this time of year. I know we're all expecting this warm up. At least my driver this morning was saying, I thought it was going to be warmer. It likely will get warmer today. It's just seasonal this morning, and seasonal with these clear conditions can feel a little bit cold. We're sitting at -22 right now in Winnipeg and in Portage, -21 in the Morden Winkler area, over in Kenora as well. Slightly milder in Brandon at -18, and then milder yet through Dauphin. Changing in real time, wasn't -11, now updated to -10. Swan River at -11. Some extra clouds have kept those temperatures a little bit on the milder side compared to where it's clearer and it is a little bit colder. Those extra clouds taking us right up into northern Manitoba. Island Lake not registering right now. I just checked though, it's -22 at the moment. Wind chills factored in at -21 right now, or 22. Feels like -28. The winds are light, but still it does have a little bit of an extra bite night. There are those extra clouds where it is a little bit milder, and more than clouds, a little bit of light snow, and we'll likely see some of that developing and passing over us for later on today. Some sunshine to enjoy first thing this morning, but then those clouds and the possible flurries, but the temperatures will be on the rise. By the time kids are coming home from school, we'll be sitting at about -11, but it'll actually continue to warm up into the evening time, getting to a high of -9, -10 normal, and we'll still climb above that over the next few days. A beautiful shot out in Little Black River. Thank you very much to Glenn for this. Looks like a stunning night to enjoy a fire. Keep the photos coming to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca, and we'll see you right after this break.
Snap a pic for your chance to win with our Best in Fest contest. Festival du Voyageur returns February 13th to the 22nd, and we want to see how you're gearing up. We have some examples of how others are celebrating the outdoors. Annette shared her photo with Leo Latuc. Jolene stopped on the trail to have a cup of tea and watch the sun set. And Kara is enjoying the winter by climbing snow hills and watching fireworks. Thank you for those. You can upload your photos to our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, or post it to social media using the hashtag BestInFestContest. Weekly winners will be selected to win a 4-pack of passes to Festival du Voyageur. What do Snoop Dogg, Olivia Rodrigo, and the Tragically Hip all have in common? Well, they have worked with Toronto's Justin Gray. The performer and Humber College professor won his first Grammy Award for his album, Immersed. CTV's Andrea Case has the details.
When Justin Gray received a Grammy nomination last November,
Best Immersive Audio Album,
he said it was the highlight of his life so far. That was then.
And the Grammy goes to Immersed.
At the 68th Annual Grammy Awards pre-show, Immersed became the first Canadian nomination in the category and the first win.
To Toronto, to Canada, we love you. Music is a gift that we all share, and can we maintain and just continue to uplift each other through this beautiful art form? Thank you.
I mean, it's just a feeling of gratitude. I had never been to the Grammys before, and the premiere ceremony, it is huge. Like, there are a lot of people in that room.
Gray is on the faculty at Humber Polytechnic, now teaching in the same course he once graduated from. He is passionate about imagining music in 3 dimensions and calls Immersed a pure love letter to the Toronto music community. He traveled the world with the album and accompanying film, but this was a new experience.
Once the category came on, I just was breathing deep, because, you know, you just kind of want to prepare yourself for whatever comes. And it was a little bit of a blur, but just so much gratitude, just a lot of joy.
Gray is a performer, composer, Juno-winning producer, and engineer. He brought 38 traditional Toronto musicians together to create a new sound. The immersive audio mixing and mastering brings the music to life, literally putting the audience in the middle, surrounded by the band.
It's also just an encouragement to just keep believing in the process, keep believing in the craft. It inspires me to feel that confidence to continue pushing forward, keep surrounding myself with the community that's been so amazing to work with thus far.
He won't have any trouble bringing the Grammy across the border back to Canada. Unlike the Academy Award, the one he was given is not the one he will keep.
Definitely the first person I handed it to. The one that we were holding that day was my co-producer, good friend, Drew Jureka, fellow Canadian, also making history here. And then Michael Romanowski, the mastering engineers. But then they take it back, and then at a certain point, it'll get mailed to me.
Andrea Case, CTV News.
All right, minus 22. I know it still feels a little bit cool, but in fact, these temperatures, they're very normal for this time of year. There is a bit of a breeze out of the south, 7 clicks, making it feel like minus 28. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 82%, but it is gorgeous and clear. I was talking 20 minutes ago when I was upstairs on the rooftop, the moon so bright above, looking gorgeous. I did, in fact, snap a video, so you'll find that in my Instagram if you want to see what my vantage point looks like. It is beautiful out there this morning, but you do have to bundle up if you plan on headed out to do some stargazing or moon gazing, whatever it is in these clear conditions. But no, these clear conditions won't last. While we might enjoy it through the morning hours and even get a bit of sunshine once that rises. By the way, the sun is rising at 7:59. This excites me because it's ahead of the 8 o'clock hour. So rising a little bit earlier each day, setting around 5:27 tonight. But by then we will have some heavier clouds that will have moved in. -9 is where we're headed with the temperatures. So I know we're pretty much on par with what is normal with these morning temperatures. And -10 is a seasonal daytime high, and we might surpass it by a degree. But then this coming night, only dropping down to -13. By then we'll have this nice insulating blanket of clouds. The winds, however, will be a little bit stronger overnight. And then for tomorrow, still those stronger winds shifting out of the south. But the mercury keeps rising to -5. There is still the possibility of some flurries, and some extra clouds will linger, not just through tomorrow, but through Thursday as well. And Thursday, even warmer temperatures could put us above the freezing mark, dipping slightly Friday, but beautiful and mild for the coming weekend.
Thank you, Terry. Mysterious lights have been spotted hovering in southern Manitoba, and now a group of residents has banded together to figure out what exactly is going on. CTV's Danton Unger explains.
You can always see them in the distance over here.
Monique Kirchie has noticed something strange going on in the skies of southern Manitoba.
Like they fly all over the town.
Over the past few weeks, Kirchie says she and her neighbors have seen large drones like this hovering around Kleefeld just west of Steinbach.
It's only at nighttime that they're hearing and seeing these things, and so it raised a lot of concern, the fact that there's so many and it's so many frequent sightings. Nobody knows anything.
She's reported it to the municipality and the RCMP, but so far, no answers as to what's behind the sudden uptick in drone activity. Steinbach RCMP did confirm they've received one report of drones flying over the city as well as in the Le Broquerie area, hovering near houses and waking people up. RCMP say at this point, no other reports have been received. Corporal Ryan Cadot says it can be difficult to track down the operators of drones.
It's tricky because a lot of these drones have considerable range, and unless you can find the pilot, there's not a whole lot we can really do about it, unfortunately.
Still, if a drone is flying on private property or getting a little too close for comfort, Cadot does encourage residents to report it to RCMP. As for Kirchie, this is a mystery she wants to solve. That's why she's created the Community Drone Watch.
Drone chasers, unite. I was kidding, but at the same time kind of serious, because people had been posting about noticing all these drones flying around for the last few weeks.
While not taking herself too seriously, she does hope this will lead to some answers, like who's flying these drones around her area and why.
So far, nobody knows what these things are. They're just these big, large drones that have been flying around.
Danton Unger, CTV News, Steinbach.
Healthcare workers are now being told to leave Kashechewan First Nation. The community on the western shore of James Bay has been dealing with an ongoing water crisis. And that means anyone left in the community will also need to leave.
Once the confirmation of the cryptosporidium was in the water supply, Health Canada, I think, and their health teams decided that they have to remove their nurses out of the community. The paramedics will follow.
There are only about 370 people left in Kashechewan. Everyone else has already been moved out of the fly-in community. Indigenous Services Canada says the nurses there were expected to leave yesterday. The move comes days after the parasite cryptosporidium was found in the water. That's the same parasite that caused gastrointestinal distress for more than 60 people already. The outbreak has been linked to a breakdown of the water treatment system. Indigenous Services Canada says nurses will return to Kashechewan whenever residents do. Canadians are sitting on $2 billion worth of uncashed government checks. Data shows that roughly 3.9 million paper checks were issued to Canadians over the past 4 fiscal years, and they haven't been cashed yet. The checks were for various tax refunds, pension checks, and other CRA benefits. For example, roughly $42.8 million in checks issued to families through the Canada Child Benefit went uncollected, and Canadians failed to deposit more than $140 million in carbon rebate checks. The administrative cost for the government to issue a check is about $1.83. That means issuing the 121 million checks mailed out from April 2022 to September of 2025 likely cost taxpayers about $222 million. A new study suggests cursing may give you an extra boost at the gym. Researchers at Keele University in England found repeating a swear word helped college students push a little harder on a strength test. According to researchers, uttering a few expletives as you lift may help you stay focused and give it your all. People who used words that would normally be bleeped also found their task more positive and funny. Polytechnic Montreal has taken beef off its cafeteria menus.
That one ingredient was responsible to about half of the total footprint of all the food services activities. We're talking about maybe 200 tons of CO2 equivalent.
The move was made to lower the school's carbon footprint. It meant taking some bestsellers off the menu. This includes burgers, cheese steaks, and smoked meat poutine. That's been balanced out with new options like sushi, ramen, and poke bowls. So far, the move has paid off, bringing in 11% more students to cafeterias. The Winnipeg Jets paid a visit to Texas Monday night for a game against the Dallas Stars. The Jets were held scoreless in the first. On to the second period, about 3.5 minutes in, and Cole Perfetti sets up Gabe Vilardi, who puts it past Stars netminder Jake Ottinger, and the game is tied at 1 apiece. A little later in the second, with the Jets on the power play, and this time Vilardi returns the favor, notching the assist as Perfetti scores from in front of the Dallas net, and it's 2-1 Winnipeg. In the third, 2 minutes left in regulation with Dallas leading 3-2. The Jets pull Connor Hellebuck, and it pays off as Logan Stanley ties it up for Winnipeg, and this one heads to overtime. In OT, the Jets have some nice chances but can't capitalize. With just under 3 left in overtime, Thomas Harley scores and Dallas wins this one 4-3. The Jets are back in Winnipeg Wednesday hosting Montreal. Game time is 6 p.m. It's a nice effort, though. I'm taking a look right outside right now on McPhillip Street. Things have picked up slightly over here, as you can see it, moving well. Here's a look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.28. The provincial average is $1.20. In Winnipeg, the average is the same. And the lowest price in the city is $1.12. All this information is on gasbuddy.com. Ainsley McPhail is doing some ice fishing this morning. Will she get a bite? Stay with us for more.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
All right, it is beautiful and clear out here this morning. Yeah, a little bit cold. Throw those layers on if you're headed out early. Minus 22, feels like minus 28. The 7K wind out of the south, the pressure rising, the humidity at 82%. I stepped out here eager to see the moon for one last glance, and I no longer can. It's moved behind the hydro building right now. But it's interesting to note how fast the moon moves, and I'm going to share a quick story with you because yesterday I went for a drive to see the moon. The day before, on Sunday, it was a full moon. At about 5:30, I saw it. It looked gorgeous. I wanted to go out and see it, but I didn't have time. So yesterday, I was like, you know what? Let's go for a drive and we'll watch the moon rise. So we headed out at about 5:30. Couldn't find the moon anywhere. So then I had to look up when moon rise. Moon rises about 50 minutes later each day. It's not at all like the patterns of the sun where it's just off by a couple of minutes, almost a full hour later. So now you know a little something about the moon. If you want to go out and see it, though, it's still quite clear and gorgeous. Let's head on over to Ainsley and see what she's up to this morning. Hey, Ainsley, can you see the moon?
We could when we were outside the tent, but I preferred to have my nose hairs not frozen. We are ice fishing this morning. It's quite warm in here, so I will say it is a luxury experience with Turtle Tours. Ashley Smith joins us now, and she's going to tell us all about it. So, beautiful day for this. This is fantastic. Tell us a little bit about Turtle Tours and the experience that you're providing.
Yeah, so Turtle Tours, we're new. We started at the Forks this year, and we decided to bring our ice fishing village from Riding Mountain National Park to more of an urban setting to reach more of a clientele that doesn't necessarily normally get to ice fish. And so that's what we've done.
So to set something like this up, what goes into that?
Oh, it takes a whole team. So we're a family-owned and operated business, and it takes my husband and my children to come and help. And we're hustling when ice fishing season comes because it's such a short window, and we don't know what the weather's going to do. So either we're on late or early, and then we're off sometimes early. So.
And I mentioned the luxury experience. We got a fire going here. It's nice and toasty. Great for the family as well, to give them an experience that if they're living in the city, they might not necessarily have.
That's right. So we really wanted to make it more of a really high-end luxury. You can see we have furs, we have hay bales and blankets, we have a fire place there that we really want to keep people warm in and just make them feel cozy for the family.
What do you want people to get out of this? Because I know that there's other bits of culture as well.
Yeah, so we want to share the history, how, Manitoba and as Indigenous people, we've always ice fished. And, we look at the lake as a frozen locked door. It's a frozen pantry. And so we got to get into that pantry and reach all the gold that's under there, which are the different types of fish that we have here in Manitoba.
What are the tricks then?
So, so we're going to use an auger and we're going to get through the ice. And the different types of fish that we have here is jack, pickerel, carp, and pike. So that's what we're fishing for today.
Hey, no, I said, what are the tricks? How can I catch a fish? But you know what? We're out of time, so I'm going to have to just try in these next 10 seconds and see if it happens.
Here's a look at the early markets. This Tuesday, the Dow Jones is 62 points down. The Nasdaq gained 95 points. The S&P index is flat. The Canadian dollar had no changes, set at 73.10 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng bumped 59 points, and the Nikkei had major gains, 2,065 points. Good morning. It is 6:46. The witness list is now out for the Winnipeg Police Headquarters inquiry, and two very prominent people will be among the first to testify. Former Winnipeg Mayor Sam Cates and former CAO Phil Sheagle. Cates is scheduled for the very first week of the inquiry, which gets underway February the 10th. Phil Sheagle is set to testify the week after, along with the owner of Caspian Construction. In court documents, RCMP alleged the city was the victim of a multi-million-dollar fraud. A civil court found Sheagle accepted a $327,000 bribe from Caspian and ordered him to pay $1.1 million to the city. Winnipeggers can now access city services in one central spot. The city has launched a My Account citizen portal with information tailored to your home address. It provides an online hub with recycling and garbage collection details, snow clearing zones, parking bans, and more. Users can also track service requests, and those with a My Utility account can link it to My Account, allowing them access with a single login and password. A new bag policy is in effect at casinos of Winnipeg properties. The maximum allowable bag size is 14 by 14 by 6 inches. We're told the change was made to improve safety. The policy says restricting bag size means security won't have to spend as much time checking bags for prohibited items. Exceptions will be considered for medically necessary items. All bags are subject to search regardless of the size. Former Prime Minister Stephen Harper is back in Ottawa this week to mark 20 years since his Conservative government took office.
I think the reality is federal government manages this country right, puts the stress on unity and not on ideological tangents, and there's no reason why we can't pull the country together at this moment.
Former Prime Minister Harper and former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien sat down together yesterday for a fireside chat. They talked about national unity in the face of U.S. tensions and in the face of rising separatism inside the country. Prime Minister Harper was recognized by the Royal Canadian Geographical Society for his public service. His official portrait will be unveiled today. Former Cabinet Minister Bill Blair is resigning his seat in the House of Commons to take on a new role. Blair has been appointed Canada's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom. He is replacing Ralph Goodale, who served as High Commissioner to the UK from 2021 to 2025. Prime Minister Mark Carney has also appointed his National Security Advisor, Nathalie Drouin, as Canada's ambassador to France and Monaco. Thousands of Alberta government workers are returning to the office as the province's hybrid work plan ends. February the 1st marked the official end of Alberta's hybrid work option, which was implemented during the COVID-19 pandemic. More than 12,000 workers had hybrid arrangements. The Alberta Union of Provincial Employees, which represents about 9,000 of them, says its members are being ordered back full-time, in part to help local economies. Alberta, the government, is rejecting that accusation. Rail workers in Milan held a one-day strike in the run-up to the Winter Olympics. Athletes, delegates, and media are starting to flow into Italy. Organizers used shuttle buses to pick up the slack. Rail workers have been negotiating for a new contract and improved worker safety. The dispute is not expected to interrupt service during the Olympics. The opening of the Winter Games is on Friday. A setback for Canada's Olympic figure skating team. 2024 world champions Diana Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps will not compete in the team event at Milan Cortina. The Canadian Olympic Committee says Stellato-Dudek was injured during training. Canadian champions Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud will compete in the pairs portion of the team event instead. The Baltic Sea is frozen on Poland's coast, and people are stepping out to take a look. This is a rare occurrence, so people living in the area just had to walk out on the ice. Parts of the country say lows as cold as -22, or they saw lows as cold as -22 over the weekend, making for a frigid winter wonderland. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The southbound curb lane on Furby Street will be closed from Furby Place to Portage. Following the rush, the northbound curb lane on Yonge Street will be closed between Ellis and Sargent, and the eastbound curb lane on Notre Dame Avenue will be closed from King Edward to Keewatin Street. If you have any other traffic tips or updates, text them to us, please.
Imagine lows as cold as -22. Oh wait, that's where we're sitting right now. It feels like -28 though, with those south winds, 7 kilometers per hour, the pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 82%. Of course, we have our own bodies of water that we could go out and walk on. In fact, on my walk home yesterday, the river trail, oh my goodness, so many people out enjoying it. It was beautiful, it was bright, it was sunny. I've got a video of that on my Instagram too. I put everything up on my Instagram, so go take a look. You'll see the moon from earlier this morning, or the river trail from yesterday when so many people were out and about, even though it was a cold one. Today will be a lot warmer. It won't be as sunny. You can see the clouds moving in. You can see a little bit of snow in there as well, and many of us will deal with clouds and some flurries, but some warmer temperatures today, headed up just into the minus double digits or low minus teens. Do we call 12 minus teens low minus double digits? But likely to deal with a little bit of flurry activity off and on throughout the day today. And that'll be the case pretty much around the province. The conditions will be the same. But with the clouds, many of you have the milder temperatures to kick off your morning. I know here in the southeast it's still pretty cool this morning, but look where you could be headed to later on today. This is southwestern Manitoba, well above seasonal. We'll be a little bit above seasonal. -9 our expected high. -10 is normal for this time of year. So the southeast won't be soaring anywhere near as high as southwestern Manitoba will today, but tomorrow a whole other story because the mercury just keeps heating up. I mean, it'll dip slightly overnight, but then continue to rise, and then continue to rise even more by Thursday, pushing us above the freezing mark. Dipping a little bit Friday, a return to the sunshine, the weekend mild with some heavier clouds back again.
The race heats up to build Canada's next submarines. South Korea's Hanwha may sail a submarine across the Pacific this spring as competition intensifies to land Canada's submarine contract. CTV's Judy Trin with more on the South Korean pitch.
A deep dive into what could be the biggest defense procurement in Canada's history, the purchase of up to 12 submarines.
Because this has now evolved into a government-to-government situation. It's a big, big procurement. This is going to be a relationship with the winner for years, decades to come.
To persuade, the South Korean Navy plans to sail the KSS-3 submarine across the Pacific and dock in British Columbia, a journey that will take 2 months.
Your hands up here.
Okay. CTV News also got to see Hanwha's pitch up close. We couldn't film because of security protocols, but the attack submarine holds about 50 sailors. It launches vertical missiles that target land and has torpedoes. But the deciding factor will rest on economic benefits. To win the contract, Hanwha is pledging to help hard-hit businesses, like investing $345 million in Algoma to buy its steel and help it build a plant to make beams.
It's been tough as tariffs have been in place for a year, and half of our business has gone away.
While some companies are hurting, others are looking for ways to expand. Using robotic technology, Hanwha builds 45 ships annually on its assembly line. Speed, Ontario's shipyards want to emulate.
I mean, what they do here is cutting edge. It's absolutely fantastic. If we can bring just a fraction of that to Canada, I think us as a country would be a lot further ahead in our shipbuilding endeavors.
The deadline for Hanwha and TKMS to submit their bids is March 2nd. It's a deal that could be worth $100 billion spread over more than 3 decades. It's investment that Canada needs to protect itself from Donald Trump's trade war.
Imagine if you were passionate about a movie and you met someone who wasn't. Could there be a future for the two of you together? One Star Wars superfan met a woman who couldn't care less about it. But as CTV's Adam Sawatsky shows you, they ended up being inspired by the force of love.
A relatively long time ago,
when I was 9 years old,
in a cinema far from far, far away,
I was front row.
Liam Hudson first fell in love with Star Wars.
I've been enamored ever since.
But it wasn't so simple when he first met a friend of a friend named Alex.
Back then, I knew him only as the Star Wars nerd. I grabbed the lightsaber from him, and he wasn't very happy.
I was stressed.
Because it was a crucial component of the Kylo Ren costume he'd spent countless hours crafting.
I 100% thought she was going to break it.
But Alex didn't, and when she eventually agreed to go on a date with him, Liam didn't really talk about Star Wars.
He's just always been really kind and a lot of fun and really showed an interest in what I like.
So, despite Alex having zero interest in Star Wars, she did the same and agreed to attend a comic convention wearing a costume he custom made for her.
It was amazing. It was perfect. Us together looked like $1 million.
After they moved in together, they topped their Christmas tree with a Death Star, named their cats Chewbacca, Vader, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and visited the Star Wars section of Disneyland for his 30th birthday. But when it came to wedding planning...
The wedding was pretty normal. I wanted it to be normal.
Now, Liam knew the wedding cake would include a couple characters, but while waiting for his bride to walk down the aisle, Alex surprised him by playing the Star Wars love theme.
The song from Episode 1 where Anakin and Padme are falling in love on Naboo turns on, and I am standing up there looking at Alex come down the aisle. She looks amazing, and my favorite song is playing.
And although Star Wars was his first love, Liam had no doubt why Alex is his forever love.
Is the force strong within her? Oh yes, it's very strong.
A real-life force of love that's grown to include two boys who may remember the names of more Star Wars characters than farm animals, but will never forget to also wield their force for kindness and caring. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Colwood.
Sweet story. All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll be right back with your 7 o'clock headlines. Stay with us. It's Tuesday, February the 3rd. Today, seeking answers why a family believes an ER misdiagnosis may have led to their mother's death. Plus, GST relief fast-tracked. MPs move quickly on a bill aimed at easing grocery costs for Canadians. And smarter screens, how new research shows AI could improve breast cancer screenings and cut false positives. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's 7 o'clock on your Tuesday. Thank you so much for starting your day with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. At 7:52, we're going to tell you about International Development Week, which is on right now. And we're going to tell you about an organization that's doing what it can to ensure that Manitobans become better global citizens and what we could do every day to become a better global citizen. So that's coming up. But also, Ainsley is doing some ice fishing today.
Yes.
It's a cool start to the day, though, for that. She's in a shelter, of course.
She's toasty in that shelter.
Is.
And you know, once you're on the ice in those little huts, they actually warm up quite quickly. They block all of the wind, although not that we're dealing with much in the way of a wind this morning. In fact, it's very light out of the south, just 7 kilometers per hour. The temperatures themselves feeling a little bit cool, though, minus 22, and that is in fact normal for this time of year. Minus 28 is what it feels like with that breeze factored in. The pressure is rising and the humidity sits at 82%. It's been very clear this morning, though, and as a result, a lot colder in the clearest part of the province. That would be us here in the southeastern part. Heavier clouds off to the west and through northern Manitoba, resulting in some slightly milder temperatures. We will get a nice warm up today. Certainly warmer than it's been, but also cloudier than it's been. I know yesterday it was beautiful, bright and sunny throughout the day. Now with those clouds that are going to be stacking up throughout the day today, it won't be looking anywhere near as bright, but it will likely be warmer. However, more than just clouds, there's likely to be some flurries passing through through most of the province. Nearly everybody will perhaps see some scattered snow off and on at times today. Still with those heavier clouds overnight, and tomorrow another round of snow. A lot of that will stay through north and central Manitoba, but we'll probably see just a little bit pushing through across parts of southern Manitoba. Temperatures, though, will be steadily rising now over the next few days. -10 is normal for this time of year. We'll get close today, even more tomorrow, beyond seasonal values, and possibly plus digits by Thursday. Now, Friday, sunshine returning. Those temperatures drop off just momentarily. For the weekend, when those clouds roll back in again, the temperatures will be mild all over again. And our weather art today, a nice cup of hot chocolate. How perfect does that sound? Thank you, Fife, for this painting. Appreciate what you've done. Beautiful. And keep the art coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
RCMP and Thompson are asking for the public's help to find a missing 24-year-old man. Police say Shane Wood boarded a bus in Winnipeg on Saturday to travel back to his residence in Thompson, but did not arrive. Shane was last seen on the bus in Grand Rapids at about 5 a.m. on Sunday. It's unknown where he disembarked after the stop in Grand Rapids. Shane is approximately 5 feet 8 inches tall, 130 pounds, with short black hair. He was last seen wearing a black and gray camo-style jacket and white sweatpants. Thompson RCMP have conducted patrols in a number of surrounding areas, but have not located him. Anyone with information as to the whereabouts of Shane Wood should call Thompson RCMP at 204-677-6909. A major fire on Salter Street forced emergency crews to shut down the road Monday evening near Mountain Avenue. The call came in to the fire department around 4:15 p.m. A 2.5-story duplex in the 400 block of Salter was on fire. When firefighters arrived, smoke was pouring out of the building. They went inside the house and launched an interior attack on the blaze. While they were inside, they also managed to rescue a cat from the home. No one was injured, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. An East Kildonan family is devastated. They claim their mother was misdiagnosed during a recent ER visit to St. Boniface Hospital. And as CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows you, they believe that mistake led to her death.
Maybe she could still be here today.
Heartbreak, anger, and endless questions for the family of Winnipeg resident Judy Burns. Her daughter Chelsea Mann says her 68-year-old mother was the anchor in her family.
Our mom was definitely our best friend, for one. We spent every morning calling her, me and my son, FaceTime.
According to Mann, her mother was brought to St. Boniface ER in the early morning hours of January 18th after she was found delirious, not responsive, and pale. While she didn't wait long in the ER waiting room, doctors at first found her dehydrated and later diagnosed her with diverticulosis. But the family wanted an endoscopy right away.
She wasn't okay. They told us multiple times, your mom is going to be fine. She's going to be going home in 48 hours.
But that didn't happen. Her family stayed with her throughout the day, but by that night, she had a stroke and went into cardiac arrest, according to the family. Mann says an endoscopy was then performed, and a small ulcer in her mother's small intestine was found. Despite a quick surgery, Burns was placed in a medically induced coma.
Our mom did survive the surgery, and we were told that unfortunately, she was bleeding internally all day. I think if a scope would have done sooner, our mom would still be here.
The family believes the delay in treatment caused her to deteriorate. Burns' family made the hard decision to remove life support 3 days later, and their mom died.
I left that hospital saying bye to her, thinking I would see her again, and by the time I got there at 8:30 at night, she was already on life support.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Health Minister Uzama Azaguera says the province is working to determine if Mann's death meets the criteria for a critical incident. 3 junior hockey players were killed in a car crash in Alberta on their way to practice.
We now ask you to please rise if you're able. Join us in observing a moment of silence in remembrance of these 3 young men.
A moment of silence was held last night at the Calgary Flames game. The crash happened near the town of Stavely at around 11 yesterday morning. 18-year-old Cameron Casorso and 18-year-old JJ Wright, both from Kamloops, were killed. 17-year-old Caden Fine from Birmingham, Alabama, was also killed in the crash. They played for the Southern Alberta Mustangs. The 3 teenagers were killed when the car they were in collided with a gravel truck. In a social media post, their team writes, quote, There are no words that can adequately express the depth of our grief. These young men were more than hockey players. They were teammates, sons, brothers, friends, and deeply loved members of our Mustangs family and the communities we call home. It's a feeling that the Humboldt Broncos know all too well. They also released a statement writing in part, "We stand with you, we mourn with you, we are with you." Prime Minister Mark Carney writes in a post, "Canadians are keeping the entire southern Alberta Mustangs community in our thoughts." The driver of the gravel truck was treated for minor injuries. An investigation into what exactly happened is still underway. Canada's Jeremy Hansen will not be heading to space this month after NASA delayed the launch of its Artemis II rocket. Yesterday's critical fuel test stalled out with about 5 minutes and 15 seconds left in the countdown. NASA made the call to delay the launch this morning after multiple fuel leaks during the test. It's now looking at a new launch date, possibly as early as March the 6th. It's also possible it may not happen until April. Hansen and the other 3 members of the crew will be moved out of quarantine. NASA plans to use the extra time to review the data and try another fuel test. A new study suggests using AI for breast cancer screenings could reduce the number of false positives. A study involving more than 100,000 Swedish women had half their mammograms reviewed by 2 trained human radiologists, while the other half used an AI model. The journal Lancet Oncology reports the AI group had 10 fewer false positives, and the scans were reviewed more quickly. Doctors say the results are promising, but caution using AI should come with continuous performance monitoring. These cooking classes are being taught in sign language.
Health has gotten better, people's mood have changed, people feel less isolated.
The cooking classes are being held at Sudbury's Bob Rumball Center for the Deaf. They're for seniors living with hearing loss, and they're free of charge. The center built this program from the ground up with about 15 to 20 people coming out to each class. Here's what's happening right now at Main and Broadway. Looks like a good start so far to your Tuesday morning. If you see anything out on the street that's causing a problem, let us know, please.
Precious metals have made their comeback after a sharp sell-off over the last few days. Gold climbed more than 5% to $4,900, and silver jumped 10%. U.S. Treasuries have posted a small retreat, with the 10-year yield up slightly, and the U.S. dollar fell to start the day. Canadian Pacific Kansas City says it moved 2.4 million tons of grain last month, beating the previous record set in January of 2023. The Calgary-based company says the number of carloads last month also beat records. This comes after the CPKC said last week that a bumper crop helped drive fourth quarter grain revenues to record highs. And those are your morning business headlines for BNN Bloomberg. I'm Lindsay Biscaya.
Turtle tours are happening at Fort Whyte Alive. Ainsley, you are inside a fishing shack this morning. Good morning. Tell us more about what's going on.
Rochelle, a lot of people watch our show and might think, well, especially when we're outdoors, oh, that poor girl, she's always so cold. So while I might be milking it, I'm having a blast. This is my first ice fishing experience, and I'm treated like royalty by Turtle Tours, truthfully. Coming up at 7:27, we're going to actually learn about some locally sourced teas. This is a awesome experience that you can take part in, of course, at Fort Whyte Alive. It all started in Riding Mountain. It can fit comfortably 8 people in here, an opportunity to bring the kids, learn a little bit about Indigenous culture. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to talk about some of the storytelling that you can add on to that experience. I will say, I was holding the rod, and the only thing I managed to do was get it intertwined with the other rod. So I'm not a master angler like our Rochelle Lagacé.
Well, it'll take some work. You have to actually hold the rod to catch one, Ainsley. So
yeah,
a little later.
Exactly.
Thank you. All right,
She's got a mic in one hand and coffee in the other.
busy.
She doesn't have a hand to hold the rod.
How's it feeling out there, Terry?
A little bit cool, but honestly, it's going to be a pretty pleasant day with where these temperatures are headed, not just today, but over the next few days. We're certainly going to notice a change up from the weather that we'd been experiencing when it was pretty cold for a stretch of days. days. Right now it's minus 24, so I say there's a warm up, but it hasn't happened yet. In fact, we were at minus 22 and we've dipped a couple just in this past hour. It feels now like minus 34 with those winds that have increased slightly. A 15K breeze out of the south-southeast that's still considered light to moderate. Pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 81%. Clouds are beginning to move in now, and we'll see them continuously stacking up throughout the rest of the day. And more than clouds, we're probably going to see some light and scattered snow many places across the province. We'll deal with those conditions today, but slightly warmer temperatures, in fact, shockingly warmer temperatures in areas off to the west of us could push up into those low minus single digits, whereas here in the southeast, still in the minus double digits or maybe just above. Minus 9 is what we're expecting in Winnipeg, and minus 10 is seasonal. But then I said it's going to continue to warm up over the next few days. We might not see the sunshine till the end of the week, but we certainly will experience warmer temperatures.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Thank you, Terry. It's time now for our question of the day. Today is Take a Cruise Day. If you could go on any cruise, where would you go? You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. And don't forget to include your name. And if you have a picture, share that with us too. At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want more. Whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals, send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to Pet of the Week at CTV.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. Here's what it looks like outside right now on the St. James Bridge. So far, it's moving quite well over here. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Good morning. An 18-year-old man is facing charges after a worker at Manitoba Hydro Place was assaulted by a man with a knife. It happened Friday night to a Hydro employee who was leaving work for the day. According to police, the victim was knocked to the ground, but managed to disarm the suspect before several bystanders stepped in to help until officers arrived. The suspect, who's been released on an undertaking, is charged with possession of a weapon and assault with a weapon. Hydro is taking preventative security measures in light of the incident.
Well, it's shocking to have a violent incident like that happen here. It's a public space, but it's also our workplace, and our employees have a reasonable expectation to be able to come and go from work safely. So for the time being, we've locked the doors. It's not open to the public for the time being until we've reviewed our security measures and can ensure that such a thing doesn't happen again.
Police say the victim sustained minor injuries. The province is offering free hepatitis A vaccines to Peguis First Nation members. It comes amid an ongoing outbreak across the province. Health officials say as of January the 18th, there have been 308 cases of hepatitis A in Manitoba. Peguis First Nation members, visitors, and close contacts 6 months of age and older are now eligible for the free vaccine. It includes anyone traveling to or working in Peguis First Nation, and for those who have household visitors from the community. The vaccine is already available for the communities of Garden Hill, St. Teresa Point, Wasagamak, and Red Sucker Lake. Health officials say the overall risk of exposure for the general public is low. MPs in the House of Commons have voted unanimously to fast-track the Liberals' GST relief bill.
See it back in the House on Wednesday so we can provide real relief expeditiously for families. Now, if you work here, you know that that's lightning speed.
It was the Conservatives who put forward the motion to fast-track the bill. It's aimed at putting more money in the pockets of Canadians to help with grocery bills. The Parliamentary Budget Office estimates the cost will come out to more than $12 billion over 6 years. The bill is expected to pass the House tomorrow before heading to the Senate. A setback for Canada's Olympic figure skating team. 2024 world champions Diana Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps will not compete in the team event at Milan Cortina. The Canadian Olympic Committee says Stellato-Dudek was injured during training. Canadian champions Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud will compete in the pairs portion of the team event instead. Here's a look outside now at Kenniston Boulevard. It looks like things are starting off to pick up in this part of the city. No issues to tell you about, though, at this point in the drive. If you see anything out there, let us know, please.
Traffic is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your car today.
In entertainment, The Devil Wears Prada 2 is runway ready.
Hello.
Well, look
Look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
Sorry, who is this? Do you know her? Do I know her?
I'm Andy Sachs. Andrea?
She was one of the Emilys.
One of the what?
The first full-length trailer for the film already has more than 8 million views on YouTube. In it, Meryl Streep's Miranda Priestley is reunited with both Anne Hathaway's Andy and Emily Blunt's Emily. And of course, she doesn't recall ever meeting either of them. Stanley Tucci also returns as Miranda's right-hand man, Nigel. The Devil Wears Prada 2 will be in theaters May the 1st. Guess who's going to host SNL? Heated Rivalry's Connor Story has been confirmed as host on February 28th. SNL had already taken on Heated Rivalry with its Heated Wizardry sketch. Now they will welcome one of the show's co-stars. The musical guest will be Mumford & Sons. And a documentary shot in the polar bear capital of the world earned quite the accolade at the Sundance Film Festival. Nuisance Bear was awarded the Grand Jury Prize in Sundance's U.S. documentary competition. It was filmed in Churchill by Toronto filmmakers Gabriella Osio-Vanden and Jack Wiseman. The film explores the relationship between polar bears and the human world of tourists, wildlife officers, and hunters. The short film version of Nuisance Bear premiered at TIFF back in 2021. Get ready for your Tuesday primetime lineup. It starts with Will Trent at 7. High Potential comes next at 8. Catch the Big Bang Theory at 9. And Best Medicine wraps things up at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV. Terry, when it's this cold outside, at least the sky is clear. You can see some stars. You can look at that beautiful moon.
Oh, I was doing that yesterday, well, last night, and then still this morning with those clear conditions. Ooh. And there you can enjoy it too, but look how it's cut in half. That's not the waning moon, that is some clouds moving in as we glance now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Oh, look how quickly those clouds are moving in. Ooh, oh my goodness, it's gonna disappear right before our very eyes. This is what I was saying. Honestly, I was so shocked yesterday to learn that moonrise happened like 50 minutes later each day. Oh, and 12 to 13 degrees further east, so there's your little fun fact about the moon. I had no idea. I thought it was more similar to the sun, which I have talked about the difference in sunrise. We gain about 3 minutes each day, either a minute in the morning and 2 in the evening time, or 2 in the morning and 1 in the evening time. And by the way, this morning, that sun will be rising before 8 a.m. at 7:59. So it's nice to see that coming up a little bit sooner. Not that we're going to be seeing much today. Those clouds will be moving in as we already saw that moon disappearing. Here's a look at the temperatures that we're waking up to right now. With these low to mid -20s here in the southeast, considerably warmer where the clouds have already stacked up along that western border, just into the double digits for some, or mid to high minus teens. Factor in the breeze. It's not on the stronger side, the winds, but still it makes a difference, especially here where it's clearer along this eastern border, high -20s, low to mid -30s. Here are the clouds, and they're continuing to build with some scattered flurries, so more than just the clouds. We'll see some snow off and on throughout the afternoon as well. Getting to -11 by the time kids are coming home from school today, but in fact rising another couple degrees into the evening time to about -9, and even warmer through the rest of the week until Friday when the sunshine returns and those temperatures dip a bit. A beautiful shot taken out at Little Black River, and it was under the full moon enjoying some fire time. Thanks to Glenn for the photo. Keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
February 3rd, 1916. Fire destroyed the center block of Canada's Parliament buildings. 7 people were killed in the blaze. A staff member closed massive steel doors protecting the Library of Parliament from the fire. The building was rebuilt and was officially opened in February of 1920. February 3rd, 1959. This day became known as the day the music died, as musicians Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and J.P. Big Bopper Richardson died along with a pilot in a plane crash near Clear Lake, Iowa. February 3rd, 2025. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau pledges 10,000 frontline personnel to be tasked with protecting the border in response to demands from President Trump. Trudeau further pledged to implement a border security plan costing $1.3 billion.
A family in the Edmonton area is opening up their backyard hockey rink. They're hosting a tournament, raising money for sick kids. The cause is especially important to them because of a personal experience. CTV's Connor Hogue has more.
A hockey game at the local rink isn't a rare thing to see near Fort Saskatchewan in the winter. What is unusual is that this isn't a local rink. It's located in Josh and Brianna Mattern's backyard. Ankle Benders Arena has become quite popular in the neighborhood.
Bent my ankle out here one time. Oh. That was it, stuck after that.
Attracting many different types of skaters, from the hockey-playing kind to those who are taking their first steps on the ice.
You're doing it all by yourself. Look at you.
And even some on 4 legs.
At first I was like, let's just build a pond in the backyard, just without boards, just a pond. And then my lovely husband had the great idea to build boards, and I hemmed and hawed, and I'm like, I don't know if we need that.
The project got a little bigger, with the Matterns building it for their future kids. When Berkeley was born, she came with complications.
She was a breached baby and needed some support with her hips. She had hip dysplasia, so we were just grateful for the Stollery. We could use them, and we'd like to support them going forward.
Support in their own special way, from a hockey tournament scheduled for next week. A 12-team tournament will put some pressure on homemade ice, but the Matterns have that covered.
We're surfing the Kijiji. It could be a dangerous thing.
I said no about 40 times.
It took a bit of convincing, and then I think I can say I told you so now.
It is well worth it.
Even though players in the Galloway Classic tournament will take to the ice this weekend, its owners still consider the rink as a work in progress.
We're looking for a scoreboard next. That's our next purchase.
The pursuit of the perfect place to play a good old hockey game is never over.
Say woohoo!
Near Fort Saskatchewan, Connor Hogg, CTV News.
Well, that's a sure sign you're Canadian. That's indeed the case. And that's also what Ainsley's up to today. Ice fishing. That's also a Canadian sign. Stay with us for more. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live in a fishing shack this morning doing some fishing. Well, kind of. How's it going in there?
Well, I still haven't caught anything.
No.
But also, like you said, I have to hold the rod. That was a brilliant line by you. I absolutely love that. Yes. Turtle tours is what we're covering all morning long. We're at Fort White Alive. Ashley and Jaylee join me. Let's set the scene for the folks who haven't quite been here yet.
Okay, so you're going to come in here, and we're going to have the ice fishing holes ready for you. We're going to have the fire pit ready, the wood stove ready for you. Wood is stacked in here. It's going to be nice and toasty warm. You're going to just come with your family and friends, and you're just going to start catching fish.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm glad that you led with the fact that it's nice and toasty in here because you will not freeze. It's awesome. But another thing that works, though, to keep the body warm is a lovely cup of tea. You guys have a whole selection.
We do. So we have River Woman Tea here, and we're based at the Forks. And so we're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the Forks. We have these teas. They're all locally sourced. They're Indigenous teas as well. We have some things like our Sacred Blend, which has sweetgrass, white pine, sage, and things like Labrador leaves you can add to your tea. So that's like a traditional tea that we would use to keep our immunity up in the winter, and that goes for any tea that we use here. So traditionally, we would use teas to keep ourselves healthy during the winter months, vitamins, antioxidants, things like that. Mm-hmm. So we want to share that with people. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I understand it's quite popular. What are some favorites?
For me, I love the Sacred Blend because it's very natural, very earthy, locally sourced, and so I add like the lavender leaves to it, like Jaylee said, and it's just a perfect morning boost.
She mentioned, too, the connection to tradition. How important is that?
Yeah, so we've always welcomed people with tea, around the fire, and we sit and talk. And tea is not just casual. We used it for purpose. And when we sourced our medicine in the summer months, the teas that we picked were to make us get through the winter in a healthy way.
Thank you so much. And it also brings people together. This is such an awesome group. Okay, coming up at 7:42, we've got more.
All right. Thank you, Ainsley. It looks so cozy in there. They have pillows. They have drinks. They're just hanging out.
Toasty warm. Yeah, out of the wind. Not that the winds are strong this morning, but yeah, what a great place to find yourself. And enjoying what winter has to offer here in, I was going to say Winnipeg, but really all of Manitoba. We've got these cold winters that we're just kind of coming up to the middle part of. So we've still got to find things to do to keep ourselves busy, perhaps outside if you want. Minus 24 is where we're sitting right now. If you are headed out, bundle up. Feels like minus 34, even though the breeze is just 15 clicks out of the south-southeast. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 81%. We are moving into some warmer days, though, most definitely. So if you've been finding it too cold, and I mean, to be fair, it has been pretty shockingly cold. Now we're getting back to the seasonal temperatures, but we'll be surpassing them throughout the next several days. So a real big warm up on the way, and it comes with some clouds and even a little bit of light snow, though we're not seeing that yet here in Winnipeg. There are some places in the province already seeing the flurries, and we likely will as the day goes on. Headed to a high today of -9, -10. That's a normal daytime high, so above seasonal temperatures are expected for us today. Not by much, but just slightly above what you might expect. And yes, the clouds will be building. Any bit of sunshine will be enjoyed this morning, but clouding over as the day goes on. And then those clouds lasting for the next few days, continuing overnight with the flurry activity and the winds that'll be increasing. Light winds for today, but overnight out of the northwest, they could be gusting to 50 clicks, but only dropping to minus 13. That keeps us well above seasonal and continuing to warm up again tomorrow. -5 expected as our high. Still with those stronger winds, though, out of the south this time as they gust to about 50 clicks. And it continues to warm up. We could crack the freezing mark with plus digits on the way for Thursday, but the heavier clouds lasting till then. Sunshine for Friday, slight dip in the temperatures, but with those clouds moving in again over the weekend, temperatures will be rebounding.
An inquest into the death of 16-year-old Aisha Hudson got underway in a Winnipeg courtroom Monday. The teen was killed in 2020 after she was shot following a vehicle chase that began with a liquor store robbery. It will explore what led up to Hudson's death in order to find out what, if anything, might be done to prevent similar deaths in the future. The inquest will examine the social and cultural context of Hudson's life, including her experiences with the child welfare system. A previous report by Manitoba's Children and Youth Advocate found Aisha, who was a member of Barons River First Nation, had not been able to get consistent help from various government systems. Some First Nations leaders and government officials were in the gallery and spoke about what they hope the inquest uncovers.
So really what I would like to see is how is everyone coming together to ensure that we are supporting Indigenous and First Nations people, especially our young people. When we're thinking about our children, like what can we do to further support them and show them that loving kindness?
You know, a lot of young people make mistakes and they learn from their mistakes. Unfortunately, in the case of Aisha Hudson, she wasn't given that chance. And I hope this provides closure to the family. And I hope it makes changes in terms of relationships with the Winnipeg City Police and Indigenous peoples.
Hudson was fatally shot by police in April of 2020 after the vehicle she was driving crashed into another vehicle at Lejimadier Boulevard and Fermor Avenue. The chase began after a liquor store robbery. Manitoba's police watchdog later determined no charges would be laid against the officer involved. The witness list is now out for the Winnipeg Police Headquarters inquiry, and two very prominent people will be among the first to testify. Former Winnipeg Mayor Sam Cates and former CAO Phil Schiegel. Cates is scheduled for the very first week of the inquiry, which gets underway February the 10th. Phil Schiegel is set to testify the week after, along with the owner of Caspian Construction. In court documents, RCMP alleged the city was the victim of a multi-million-dollar fraud. A civil court found Schiegel accepted a $327,000 bribe from Caspian and ordered him to pay $1.1 million to the city. Healthcare workers are now being told to leave Kashechewan First Nation. The community on the western shore of James Bay has been dealing with an ongoing water crisis, and that means anyone left in the community will also need to leave.
Once the confirmation of the cryptosporidium was in the water supply, Health Canada, I think, and their health teams decided that that they have to remove their nurses out of the community. The paramedics will follow.
There are only about 370 people left in Saskatchewan. Everyone else has already been moved out of the fly-in community. Indigenous Services Canada says the nurses there were expected to leave yesterday. The move comes days after the parasite Cryptosporidium was found in the water. That's the same parasite that caused gastrointestinal distress for more than 60 people already. The outbreak has been linked to a breakdown of the water treatment system. Indigenous Services Canada says nurses will return to Saskatchewan whenever residents do. Bill and Hillary Clinton have agreed to testify in the House Jeffrey Epstein investigation.
We've been pushing for them. We said we want them to testify, and now we'll get to testify.
It's not clear yet when, where, and how the Clintons will testify, but the deal was enough to put off a vote scheduled in the House today to hold the Clintons in contempt. Bill Clinton had ties to Jeffrey Epstein, but he has denied any knowledge of his sexual offenses. He also claims he cut off contact with Epstein 2 decades ago. Bill and Hillary Clinton had refused to appear before the committee leading the investigation, saying they have already given sworn statements. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The southbound curb lane on Furby Street will be closed from Furby Place to Portage. Following the rush, the northbound curb lane on Yonge Street will be closed between Ellis and Sargent, and the eastbound curb lane on Notre Dame will be closed from King Edward to Keewatin Street. If you have any other traffic tips, text them to us, please. And here's a look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.28. The provincial average is $1.20. The same goes in Winnipeg, and the lowest price in the city is $1.12. All this information is on gasbuddy.com. Right now we are sitting at minus 24 degrees with the wind chill, though it feels like minus 34. More Your Morning Winnipeg after this break.
All right, a clear start to your day, but it is a little bit chilly, even slightly below seasonal now, minus 24. And with a 15K wind out of the south-southeast, it feels like minus 34. You're going to want to bundle up. The pressure is rising, the humidity sitting at 81%. It was very clear through the overnight hours, and even earlier this morning, we've been talking about the moon that was on display, and then the clouds have moved in now, and we'll continue to see those clouds stacking up throughout the day, perhaps bringing some flurries, and you can see that little darker gray where there's already some flurries falling through some parts of the province, but nearly everybody will likely see some scattered snow off and on today. Taking a look at these temperatures, though, it will be an above seasonal day, just into the minus double digits or even some low teens through the northeast. Even some minus single digits through northwestern Manitoba. These values taking us a few degrees above what you might expect this time of year, or several degrees above what you might expect here in the southwest, where you're only likely to end up a few degrees below the freezing mark. Minus 10 would be a normal daytime high, so a lot warmer in areas to the west than, say, here in the southeast, where we're going to remain closer to what is normal for this time of year. But we will still continue to warm up throughout the rest of the week, and we too will then notice those temperatures that southwestern Manitoba may be seeing today, as early as tomorrow, mid-minus single digits, and even cracking the freezing mark by Thursday. Some flurries today, heavier clouds for the next couple. We do still have a chance of flurries off and on tomorrow. The clearing will come on Friday with some slightly cooler temperatures, but heavier clouds will be moving back in again for the weekend, and you can see those temperatures warming up all over again.
Thank you, Terry. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at Fort Whyte Alive. We're talking about turtle tours and what it's all about. Good morning.
Good morning. An ice fishing experience not far from the city. What could be better? Otherwise, maybe doing it with a beautiful sunrise. We'll show you that in just a moment's time. Melissa Weens joins us from Fort Whyte Alive, where this experience is all happening.
Hi, good morning.
Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so we're on the lake at Fort Whyte with Turtle Tours, which is a company that does private ice fishing tours and tells you a little bit about their background and their story.
Mm-hmm. Would you recommend people come in groups? Well, one, that fits 8 people, so that's phenomenal, but groups to Fort Whyte?
Yeah, so you can bring any kind of groups, your family, your friends, your corporate groups. If you come for programming, you can do all different kinds of things, hatchet throwing, snowshoeing, all the winter activities, skating, skiing, all those great things.
And there's specific events coming up as well, both this week, I believe, and then into March.
Yeah, so on Thursday this week, we have an event called Brews and Shoes in the evening. So that takes place from 7 to 10 p.m. where folks will be able to snowshoe through the forest at night. Maybe we'll see some owls, some deer, you never know. And then we'll get a flight of beer from One Great City, our beer sponsor.
That's awesome. And then the one into March, this, from what it's 18 plus, but it's one big party.
Yeah, so Lake Shaker is a really great way to spend an evening outside and just gather with your friends, dance, do some more beer tasting with One Great City, and then do some different activities, but all over just a really great way to be outside in the evening.
And such a variety, right? Everything from adults in the after hours to kids. Why would you recommend that people take part in the ice fishing?
Yeah, so Turtle Tours is a really great local family-run company. They have a really, really great ice fishing experience, very personalized, just very cozy, and they are phenomenal people as well. Absolutely recommend.
And this time of year, if you bundle up, it's great to be out in nature.
Yeah, their tents are super cozy. They've got a wood-burning stove inside. They've got tea served, and it's just a really great experience.
Thank you so much for this chat. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, I'm going back into the warm.
Thank you, Ainsley. Two former Canadian prime ministers from different political stripes came together to discuss Canadian sovereignty. CTV's Mike Le Couture on what they said.
We're political opponents, but we're not enemies.
A message of collaboration and unity at a time of nationalism and deep division around the world. Former Prime Ministers Stephen Harper and Jean Chrétien saying despite challenges to Canada's sovereignty, there is hope.
I think the reality is federal government manages this country right, puts the stress on unity and not on ideological tangents. And there's no reason why we can't pull the country together at this moment.
While a separatist party seems poised to form government in Quebec, that's not the province Chrétien is concerned about.
The desire to have a referendum is very low in Quebec. Don't know what the hell is going on in Alberta.
I didn't sign the petition, so.
The two men came together as former Prime Minister Harper was recognized by the Royal Canadian Geographical Society for his career in public service. It coincides with celebrations of the 20th anniversary of the Conservatives forming a minority government in 2006. And Harper sees similarities even 2 decades later.
I believe that in the geopolitical circumstances I was taking office in, that there were long-run threats to the North were actually quite serious. I think I've been borne out in that regard. I didn't anticipate them being our southern neighbor.
Chrétien described that threat from the U.S. as a big shift, and he took it one step further.
It is probably what I would call the beginning of the end of the American empire. And it has to come. All the empires change.
Former Prime Minister Harper added, at a time like this, politicians on this side of the border should pick their battles. But on something like Canadian sovereignty, he says they need to work together.
The World Marathon Challenge is underway. Competitors are set to run 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days. The most difficult one is likely already out of the way. The opening leg at Ultima Base in Antarctica on Saturday. Sunday, competitors ran in Cape Town, and yesterday in Perth, Australia. Then they go to Dubai, Madrid, Brazil, and Miami to finish. Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 14th birthday, Colby, from your dad, Papa, Gran, and Drayden. Happy 11th birthday, Nick. Love Mom, your brothers, sister, and Connor. Happy 45th birthday, Eris. Love from Mom, Emmy, Ate, and Ate Tell. Happy birthday, Malcolm. Love from your family. And a happy 18th birthday, twins, Crosby and Carter, with love from your family. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you to our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff, Winnipeg's balloon headquarters with 3 locations.
All right, here's a look outside now at the Norwood Bridge. It looks like things are slowly picking up in this part of the city, but are overall moving well. We'll be right back after this.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
All right, I've been talking about the seasonal temperatures that we started with this morning, but then it dipped a little bit. However, we will make some gains, ending up pretty much what you would expect this time of year, maybe even above, headed up to -9 when -10 is normal for this time of year. The normal high, or last year's high, pardon me, was -19 and 5.6. That was the record. You need more cowbell? I don't know if you can hear this. I'm sure you can. There's some kind of construction going on behind me. It's totally distracting. I want to talk to the beat. Anyway, -24 is where we're sitting right now, feeling like -34 once you're factoring in that wind. It's a little bit of a breeze this morning, 15 clicks out of the south-southeast. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 81%. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. You know where I'm going, right? Anyway, as far as the conditions go today, I'm already seeing some clouds moving in, but my goodness, does it ever look beautiful out here. Cotton candy colors lighting up the sky right now. We're still about 10 minutes away from sunrise. Not that we're going to be seeing too much more of it as these clouds continue to build. That'll be the end of the sunshine for a few days. And with the clouds moving in, there's going to be some light and scattered snow as well. But the temperatures will be warming up even more so along the western border, getting just a few degrees below the freezing mark. Here in the eastern side, closer to what is normal for this time of year, but it continues to warm up over the next few days. Heavier clouds to linger till Friday.
The Manitoba Council for International Cooperation, or MCIC, is working to help people become better global citizens. The group's goal is to encourage more Manitobans to take action in supporting and creating a more sustainable world. MCIC is putting on its 36th annual International Development Week with many events happening throughout the week. And joining us now to tell us more are MCIC Sustainability and Inclusion Specialist Andrea Ayo and author Zilla Jones. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, before we get to the events that are happening this week, why don't we talk about MCIC and what it is exactly and what your mandate is?
Absolutely. So the Manitoba Council for International Cooperation, or MCIC, is a coalition of member organizations. And those organizations are Manitoba-based organizations that work in international development, typically in poverty eradication and gender equality. So we have members that work all around the world on international projects.
And these are members that are based in Winnipeg,
based in Manitoba, yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of a good thing to know as well, because there's many organizations under that umbrella.
Absolutely.
So what is it that you want people to know about what you do and how an everyday person can support you?
Yeah, so in my specific role, I engage Manitobans of various demographics, ages, backgrounds in what it means to be a global citizen. So what it means to be someone who knows that they're part of an international community of people. They act accordingly. You know, they know that their actions spread and they have an impact. And so we try to do that through creative ways, right? Like school workshops, author events with Zilla Jones, and other ways that we can reach out to people and get them thinking as to what it means to be a global citizen.
This month is I Love to Read Month. It's also Black History Month. So let's talk about how books are they play a big role when it comes to changing people's opinions about the world and others around the world. Tell us about that, Zilla.
Yes, so stories are one of the ways that we as humans understand our world, and I think it's a very unique aspect of being a human, is that we tell stories, and we can tell them through books, we can tell them through art, we can tell them through music. In this particular case, we're talking about books, and what is really cool about a book is that you can enter a world when you open a book. So you can learn about people that are so different from you, that live in places you've never been, that have experiences you've never had. In my book, The World's So Wide, you'll learn about the Black experience, the mixed race Black experience, the immigrant experience, the woman's experience growing up in a world of patriarchy. She's also a musician, so you learn a little bit about the world of opera. So there are all these different aspects of a person that a book can open to you that you would not necessarily have access to otherwise.
That's why I love books. Okay, well, let's talk about some of the events you're putting on, because it started on February the 1st. It's happening until Saturday. You have a big event on Thursday. Tell us about the event.
Yeah, so we host an author event every year. We've done it for the past 6 years, I think, and it's really a way for people to come and enjoy an author, their work, and connect them to what it means to be a global citizen, but in a really easygoing and engaging way. So we're hosting it at the Forks Market. It's from 7 to 8 p.m. And Zilla will be there. We'll have Delia Joseph, who is also a Winnipeg life coach, moderating the event. And then she'll help bring Zilla's story to life with her words and asking thoughtful questions.
For people watching at home, what can we do every day to make us better global citizens?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, it's all about empathy and taking the time to step into somebody else's shoes and understanding where they're coming from. Being a global citizen doesn't mean doing huge things every day, but it just means being willing to always learn and to always listen to another person and try to understand where they're coming from.
All right, I love that. And if you want more information on what's happening this week, we have a link on our website as well. Thanks, Andrea. Thanks, Zilla.
Thank you so much.
Welcome inside the Sports Center newsroom. Jermaine Franklin with your must-see moment from Monday for it. We're heading to Minnesota. The Habs visiting the Wild. Less than a minute to go in the first. Brendan Gallagher skates around Quinn Hughes and then dekes out Philip Gustafsson for an amazing goal. A great move by Gallagher going to his backhand in tight. Just his 5th of the season. That is your must-see moment from Monday. And Tuesday on TSN, you can see the 2026 NFL Pro Bowl games. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
Here's a look at what's happening right now at Portage at Polo Park. Looks like things are moving well, and that sun is on its way up. Look at that beautiful glow up in the sky. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. It's Tuesday, February the 3rd. A family mourns a loved one who died in hospital. Why they say care decisions made by staff may have worsened their mother's prognosis. Grocery price relief. Parties in the House of Commons cooperate to fast-track more GST support for Canadians. And how cold is it in New York these days? It's frosty enough to keep these penguins happily chilling indoors for a change. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning. It's 8 o'clock on your Tuesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. We have a lot in the next hour to tell you about, including an Indigenous Theatre Festival that's happening this weekend. And also it's Black History Month. And the Winnipeg Art Gallery is hosting a fashion show with some local designers. So we're going to give you a sneak peek on what to expect. But the weather outside is still not really pleasant.
Well, it's a little bit chilly, but you know what's the best news that I have to share with you? The sun is already up. It's only just 8 o'clock, and that sun, it started to rise before 8 a.m. And how gorgeous does that look? Now, earlier this morning, it was very, very clear. You can see that's obviously not the case with a few clouds out there, but those few clouds are just going to make for an even more dramatic sunrise. Honestly, it is so spectacular looking, though it is a little bit cold feeling. Minus 24 is our actual temperature, slightly below seasonal, and it feels like minus 34 with a 15K wind out of the south-southeast, the pressure rising, and the humidity sitting at 81%. But how stunning is that sky? Honestly, it does look so beautiful. Some places are nowhere near as cold as we are. We were on the clearer side and our temperatures had dropped off, but where these heavier clouds have been lingering all morning long, the temperatures are considerably milder and will make some impressive gains today, well above seasonal all along this western border, whereas here along the eastern border, closer to what you would expect for this time of year. As far as the conditions go, hope you soaked up all of that sunshine yesterday, because today with the heavier clouds will come some light and scattered snow off and on throughout the day. Nearly everybody has a chance of seeing some light flurry activity, with the heavier clouds lingering overnight, and then another round of snow to move through tomorrow. Heavier through central and northern Manitoba, light flurries passing through across southern Manitoba for tomorrow, but the temperatures just keep rising. Today getting close to seasonal, maybe slightly above -9 when -10 is normal, but it does continue to warm through the rest of the week, even above the freezing mark, only for a day, because Friday, as it clears, temperatures temperatures dipping somewhat, but back with the clouds on the weekend, and those temperatures very moderate again. Still, a cup of hot chocolate would make you feel good and toasty this morning. I love this painting by Fife. Thank you for sharing it with us. And keep the artwork coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
A major fire on Salter Street forced emergency crews to shut down the road Monday evening near Mountain Avenue. The call came in to the fire department around 4:15 p.m. A 2.5-story duplex in the 400 block of Salter was on fire. When firefighters arrived, smoke was pouring out of the building. They went inside the house and launched an interior attack on the blaze. While they were inside, they also managed to rescue a cat from the home. No one was injured, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. An East Kildonan family is devastated. They claim their mother was misdiagnosed during a recent ER visit to St. Boniface Hospital. The family believes that error led to her death.
Our mom was definitely our best friend, for one. We spent every morning calling her, me and my son, FaceTime.
The daughter of Judy Burns says her 68-year-old mother was the anchor in her family. According to Chelsea Mann, her mother was brought to St. Boniface ER in the early hours on January 18th after she was found delirious, unresponsive, and pale. Doctors at first found her dehydrated and later diagnosed her with diverticulosis. The family wanted an endoscopy right away, but that night she had a stroke and went into cardiac arrest, according to the family. Mann says an endoscopy was then performed and a small ulcer in her small intestine was found. Despite a quick surgery, she was placed in a medically induced coma. 3 days later, Burns died after her family made the hard decision to take her off life support.
Our mom did survive the surgery, and we were told that unfortunately she was bleeding internally all day. I think if a scope would have done sooner, our mom would still be here.
Health Minister Uzuma Azaguera says the province is working to determine if Mann's death meets the criteria to be considered a critical incident. The Canoe government has stepped in to take control of a South Winnipeg personal care home. Golden Door Geriatric Centre is a 78-bed personal care home. The government says in March it provided a closure notice and the owners stopped accepting new admissions. As a result, 25 beds were sitting vacant at the end of January. The Canoe government says it tried to negotiate with the owners to acquire the facility but couldn't come to an agreement. So the government decided to expropriate the centre. The province has appointed an interim management team to run the facility and restore the home to full operating capacity. MPs in the House of Commons have voted unanimously to fast-track the Liberals' GST relief bill.
See it back in the House on Wednesday so we can provide real relief expeditiously for families. Now, if you work here, you know that that's lightning speed.
It was the Conservatives who put forward the motion to fast-track the bill. It's aimed at putting more money in the pockets of Canadians to help with grocery bills. The Parliamentary Budget Office estimates the cost will come out to more than $12 billion over 6 years. If you were considering how cold it's been in New York City lately, it's too cold for these guys. The penguins have moved indoors at the Long Island Aquarium. To be fair, these are endangered South African penguins, and their waterproof feathers just aren't built for the Arctic air. Here's a look what's happening now at Kenaston and Sterling Lion Way. Looks so good so far this morning.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live inside a fishing tent this morning. How's it going in there?
Still no fish for me. I'm not sure if anyone else did. I just went to the bathroom and came back for the segment. But I truly am having a blast right now with Turtle Tours. And what's really fascinating is we're going way back, and I mean way back, connecting to our Indigenous history here in Manitoba. Ashley and Jaylee Smith join us once again. And this is a beautiful add-on that you're going to take people back in time and through the history of it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to talk about how we traditionally fished before we had this modern technology and some of the things that we would use to catch our fish with.
Yeah, so we would use sinew, and then we'd have this stick here, and we'd also lure the fish in with teeth. And then this was prior to having fishing rods, so you would lure them in, and then you would spear the fish. Yeah.
Wow, that's so fascinating. It's an hour-long experience. Within that, what does it entail?
Yeah, so you can ask any questions that you want to our guide, but we'll basically be discovering and talking about history long before we even had food sources to go to the store and buy from. This was our food source and our source of survival through the winter months. So we talk about that and the sustainability and how to now pass this on generationally to the next gen.
And storytelling, of course, such a massive part of Indigenous culture too. What can people expect to hear?
So you learn about the fish in the lake, different ways you would catch the fish, obviously. We also teach modern ways of fishing and how to tie your rod. We want to teach people and give them an experience, an outdoorsy experience here in the city that they wouldn't typically get because they don't travel out or something. So we want to bring it to them, learn how to live sustainably and things like that. So.
And even how to fish sustainably. So one of the ways is you would catch a fish and you would take something off that fish, maybe a fin or an eyeball. That's how they would catch, and then they would sustainably use it before we had any lures or bait.
I think you've unlocked something in my elementary school brain where you learn this about Indigenous people so young, but as adults, it's so good to come back, connect to it, and really enjoy, because it is truly a blast, especially if you're lucky enough to catch a fish.
That would be nice. Okay, you still have half an hour. Thank you, Ainsley. With the cost of living remaining a major topic for people across this country, it also seems to be having an impact on the makeup of families. As Marquise Francis shows you, more people are starting to choose being a pet owner instead of having kids.
It was simple math right now. I'm already stretched thin, so adding that burden is a barrier for me.
On TikTok, West Virginia native Sarah Morris showcases life with her fiance and their two cats, Sunday and Banana. But she says even the finite number of brand partnerships she gets in addition to her 9-to-5 as a flight attendant leaves little left over.
When people feel secure, they make long-term plans. When times of instability, they have to adapt. And adapting for us right now looks like shifting what the meaning of family looks like. Do you want to explain to people why you're in trouble? Yeah. 17 of them, buddy.
I have 4 cats and I have 4 kids. And which one do you think is easier to take care of?
Janie Budnick is the cat, or chief of all things, for 4-legged kids, St. Louis's largest staff in-home pet care service. Budnick has seen the family dynamic between people with pets shift in the last 30 years.
Really, it's that shift of they are treated as children. If you do some of the comparison between what a healthy pet, what the expenses are during a year versus a healthy child, I mean, you can be 10 times plus.
A Brookings study from 2022 found that it costs about $300,000 to raise a child in the U.S. from birth through age 17, which includes basics like housing, food, clothing, and education. By comparison, pet costs were roughly $27,000 over 18 years.
What would be your advice to someone who doesn't know if an actual human kid or a pet kid is best for them?
If anyone has a hesitation about having a human child, please do not. You have to really be confident in yourself that that's the path that you want to take to bring a human into this world.
All right, here's a look outside now. The heavier clouds starting to move in as we look through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Those clouds, they're building up. It was very clear earlier this morning. I was talking about the moon gazing that you could see, and then the sun as it was rising, looking so glorious. I did put a video of that too on my Instagram. I've showed you all of my rooftop views from the moon to the sunrise, and now we're just going to see some heavier clouds continuously building. Temperatures, they're kind of getting back to seasonal. We had dipped off to -24. We're now back to -22. -21 is actually a normal low temperature, so we're still just a little bit below that and seeing similar temperatures along this eastern border, whereas it's considerably milder along the western border with some heavier clouds that always act as that kind of blanket of insulation. Moving up into northern Manitoba, expect the clouds to be hanging around and maybe even some light and scattered snow. Now the breeze is on the lighter side, but still it makes a difference. Not so much along this western border, but here in the southeast, Winnipeg is feeling like -31. I think we might be winning the game. Nope, there's Gimli feeling like -32 this morning once you're factoring in those winds. I've talked about the clouds moving in, bringing a little bit of light snow, and we'll see that off and on throughout the day today, maybe more so into the afternoon for those of us on the eastern side. Minus 21 as kids get into the classroom, minus 14 through the lunch hour. Coming home, minus 11. It should still rise another couple degrees around supper time, getting up to minus 9. Minus 10 is normal for this time of year. It will still warm up for the next few days, dipping slightly on Friday, but the weekend still looking glorious and mild. We're taking a break right now. We'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Precious metals have made their comeback after a sharp sell-off over the last few days. Gold climbed more than 5% to $4,900, and silver jumped 10%. U.S. Treasuries have posted a small retreat, with the 10-year yield up slightly, and the U.S. dollar fell to start the day. Canadian Pacific Kansas City says it moved 2.4 million tons of grain last month, beating the previous record set in January of 2023. The Calgary-based company says the number of carloads last month also beat records. This comes after the CPKC said last week that a bumper crop helped drive fourth quarter grain revenues to record highs. And those are your morning business headlines for BNN Bloomberg. I'm Lindsay Biscaya.
It's a theater festival that'll include Indigenous theater, food, music, and even dance. Echo Theatre is partnering with the Prairie Theatre Exchange to put on the second annual Kianon Indigenous Theatre Festival. Joining us now to tell us more about the three-day festival are Charlene Van Buchenhout and Philip Geller. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us. Now, this is the second annual. Let's just start off with Kianon. What does that mean exactly?
Kianon is a Southern Michif word for us, and it's an inclusive us, so all of us together.
Okay, so tell us about this festival and how it all began.
Yes. Well, the festival was created out of seeing a need for more support and bringing the community together for our Indigenous artists. And having us all create and see each other do our work. And we hadn't, there wasn't a place for that, Indigenous-led place for to have that happen. And so the festival was created to do that.
Okay, and it's really stimulating all your senses, right? There's food, there's dance. Tell us what's happening.
Yeah, we have 3 days of incredible programming. So we start on Friday, February 6th, and then we go to Saturday, and then we're on Sunday on the 8th. And we have, as you said, there's food, there's feasting, we have dance, we have music, we have new work. This festival this year is focusing a lot on new work. We have about 13 new works coming into the festival, so it's pretty incredible. And this year we're celebrating, as we did last year with that inclusive us, artists that go across the spectrum of having never stepped on stage before to being some of our most veteran Indigenous artists in our community and even in the country. So yeah, it's a total celebration of everything that the performing arts world in Winnipeg and Manitoba has to offer.
And with the support of us, it's a good way to learn, right?
Yeah. The festival has a curation model of a medicine wheel, and so there is like something for everyone. So the different stages of life on the wheel: elder, child, youth, and adult. We do have something that honors each of these stages of life. So with the children's, we have a children's piece that will happen on Saturday, written by an emerging playwright, Desiree Mead. And then we have stuff for youth emerging voices or anyone looking to get into the arts, that youth kind of time of your life. We have a Star Speakers series with Rosanna Deerchild. She's the guest speaker at this one, just to bridge, just to show people how to make a career in the arts. So it's conversation on Saturday. And then for the adult contemporary piece, really teaches us where we are now, where our art is sitting now, and we have quite a few pieces in the festival. Mike Larenchuk is doing his solo work, and Jo McDonald has a really funny piece. She's been a playwright in our community for a long time, so it's great to highlight her work. And then we have an elder piece, which is revisits an older work from Manitoba. So the festival is all about uplifting our artists from Manitoba. And so the elder piece is a piece that was written maybe in the last 20, 30 years And this year, it's The Crisis in Oka, Manitoba by Doug Niepanek, who is now since passed, but he was writing plays in about the year 2000 around there. And it's a really funny piece, and that's happening Sunday night with food on the stage. We're all going to eat together and read the play together and visit this older work.
Sounds amazing,
yeah.
and really supportive to the community as well. Now, if somebody wants to check this out for themselves, what do they need to do?
They need to go to the website.
Okay.
It's www.kiananfestival.com, so KIYANAAN festival.com.
And of course, we have a link on our website as well if you want more information. Thank you so much for sharing this.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Good to see you.
All right, standing out here, the sun is up, and I can still see some blue sky above, but I've also certainly noticed the heavier clouds that are beginning to move in now. As far as temperatures go, we're getting closer to seasonal. We had dropped off as cold as -24. We're making some gains again now, sitting at -22. But the breeze is light, and it does have an impact. A 15K wind out of the south-southeast makes that -22 feel like -32. So throw those extra layers on before you head out this morning. The pressure rising, humidity sitting at 81%. I know we've been talking about the warmer weather that's coming, and today we will start to see that change up in conditions. With the heavier clouds stacking up throughout the day, there is the possibility of some scattered snow, but the mercury will be on the rise, and we might even surpass seasonal, barely, but -10 is normal for this time of year. Here in Winnipeg, our expected high today is around -9. Now, anyone along the western border, expect even milder weather yet. Just a few degrees below the freezing mark is where you could top out today, but the conditions around the province will pretty much look the same, with some heavier clouds and some light and scattered snow. And we may still see some of that light and scattered snow lingering into tomorrow. We'll certainly see the clouds lingering, not just through tomorrow, but Thursday as well. And Thursday is the day that it really warms up. We're talking just below the freezing mark tomorrow, but into the plus digits by Thursday. Now, heavier clouds will last until then, but by the end of the week on Friday, it will clear out, though we'll see those temperatures dipping a little bit. A beautiful picture of the campfire out in the Little Black River area. Thank you to Glenn for the photo, and keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
Snap a pic for your chance to win with our Best in Fest contest. Festival du Voyageur returns February 13th to the 22nd, and we want to see how you're gearing up. And here are some examples of others. Kristen is building a snow fort with her daughter. Maria is learning how to skate. Oh, we don't have these images. Okay, well, there are really great images that we have received. And so if you can share your images with us, you could upload your photos to our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, or post it to social media using the hashtag BestInFestContest. Weekly winners will be selected to win a 4-pack of passes to Festival du Voyageur.
It'll be a test of my willpower to get through this segment without reaching for a bit of a snack. Taylor Kay joining me this morning. We are talking about cheese. Taylor, is there anything that isn't improved by adding cheese?
Well, you know what? And thank you for having me on. Well, and I was going to say, Terry, a lot of people don't think cheese is a protein source, but it actually is. And that's like scrolling. I'm going on my TikTok, social media. Everyone's like, add more protein, more protein. Well, Armstrong Cheese listened, and they're giving Canadians more protein without changing the foods they love. They've got their new high in protein cheddar cheese, which is the protein you want and the cheese you crave. So whether it's like shredded cheese or block of cheese or these cheese sticks, they've got you covered.
I love this idea. I mean, I would eat it in any form. I'm happy to, but are you going to maybe entice us with new recipes? What do you got to share?
So I've got some fun recipes, and of course they've got their full lineup as well of Armstrong Cheese, but let's talk about like their high protein cheese. So we've got cheese sticks on the go. I think about, like, I have 3 kids, you know, I need something on the go running out, you know, maybe I'm going to the gym in the morning commuting. Yep. These high protein cheese sticks are an easy win. Shredded protein cheese on top of your salad, really easy. You can add that. That's one of my go-tos. You know, cheese makes everything better, and keeps you fuller longer. I've got the mac and cheese, which is, you know, an amazing crowd pleaser, but you can get it even more balanced. I've got like higher protein pasta with, again, the Armstrong high protein cheese. Same cozy vibe, just more satisfying. And then our tomato soup It's my homemade recipe. And then we've got the high in protein block of cheese. And I'm stepping it up even more, Terry. I've got cubes. I've even sliced more to put into grilled cheese to dip into the soup. I mean, the possibilities are endless, right?
No kidding. I can tell you, my director is all about the cheese, like string little snacks. She's got those around all the time.
The cheese sticks are amazing, right? The cheese sticks, I just throw these in my bag and go. And also my car is my refrigerator sometimes at this time of year. So I don't get hangry ever.
And that's just it. And I'm so glad that she's got them as a bit of a snack in there, right? Because these shows can be long, and every now and then she'll be giving me counts in my ear, and you can tell that her mouth is full. And I'm like, oh, okay, someone's having a little snack in the middle of all of this. I love how convenient that they've made these, though. I mean, obviously you can shred your own cheese, but when it comes shredded, sometimes it just makes it a little bit easier. The slices for the burgers, like, come on, it just takes all of the extra work out of it and makes it a little bit more convenient.
Exactly. And I will say they've got full fun recipes. These are just simple ones and cozy ones that I just wanted to showcase because this is stuff that you can do right now today. But I will say they've got like a cheesy AI companion, Terry, which is so fun. It's cheesegpt.armstrong.ca, and you can go on and put stuff like, that you have in your fridge. Maybe it's broccoli, maybe it's cauliflower, and, or, maybe you've got some, steak, whatever you have to mix in with your cheese, then you can put that into the Cheese GPT and come up with some recipes. And they've got a full lineup as well.
I love that. And again, I mean, when we're all hearing that push to get more protein, what an easy, not to mention delicious way to do it. Taylor, thanks so much for joining us today.
Easy and cheesy.
Love it.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
It's minus 22. The sun climbing a little bit higher. Still some blue sky to enjoy. Make the most of it. That will change through the afternoon. We do have a bit of a breeze out of the south-southeast. It's 15 kilometers per hour, and as a result, minus 22 feels like minus 32. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 81%. Yes, it is still feeling on the chillier side this morning, so make sure you've got those extra layers on. As far as sunglasses go, not like yesterday. Yesterday was so beautiful and bright. Oh my goodness, it was stunning. It was cold, and it stayed colder through the day, whereas today we're going to see that temperature on the rise, but we won't be seeing the sunshine sticking around. The heavier clouds already starting to move in, and with them will likely come a little bit of light and scattered snow. Minus 9 is where we're headed today as far as the temperature goes, and minus 10 is a normal daytime high. We could surpass seasonal values. It's been a while since we talked about warmer than normal, but that could in fact happen today, and then staying mild for the next few days. So minus 9 by this afternoon, probably around supper time or so, only losing a few degrees overnight. However, while the winds remain light through the day today, tonight they'll be shifting out of the northwest, increasing to about 50 kilometers per hour, so it will get windy. Still that chance of some scattered snow, and then still the possibility of some scattered flurries for tomorrow, but the mercury continues to rise to a high of about minus 5. A shift in the winds. They will still be on the stronger side, but this time out of the south. From there, continues to warm up. On Thursday, we could crack the freezing mark, pushing into the plus digits. Probably too mild for our wintertime fun, but it's not going to stay that mild. Drops off on Friday as the sky clears out, and then pleasant, maybe a little too mild. It'll get warm and slushy as we're looking to the end of the week and into the start of next week.
Thank you, Terry. RCMP and Thompson are asking for the public's help to find a missing 24-year-old man. Police say Shane Wood boarded a bus in Winnipeg on Saturday to travel back to his residence in Thompson, but did not arrive. Shane was last seen on the bus in Grand Rapids at about 5 a.m. Sunday. It's unknown where he disembarked after the stop in Grand Rapids. Shane is approximately 5 feet 8 inches tall, 130 pounds, with short black hair. He was last seen wearing a black and gray camo-style jacket and white sweatpants. Thompson RCMP have conducted patrols in a number of surrounding areas, but have not located him. Anyone with information as to the whereabouts of Shane Wood should call Thompson RCMP at 204-677-6909. Mysterious lights have been spotted hovering in southern Manitoba, and now a group of residents has banded together to figure out what exactly is going on.
It's only at nighttime that they're hearing and seeing these things, and so it raised a lot of concern, the fact that there's so many and it's so many frequent sightings. Nobody knows anything.
Monique Kirchie has noticed something strange going on in the skies of southern Manitoba. Kirchie says over the past few weeks, she and her neighbors have seen large drones like this hovering around Kleefeld, just west of Steinbach. She's reported it to the municipality and the RCMP, but so far no answers as to what's behind the sudden uptick in drone activity. RCMP Corporal Ryan Cadot says it can be difficult to track down the operators of drones.
It's tricky because a lot of these drones have considerable range, and unless you can find the pilot, there's not a whole lot we can really do about it, unfortunately.
Still, if a drone is flying on private property or getting a little too close for comfort, Cadot does encourage residents to report it to RCMP. As for Kirchie, this is a mystery she wants to solve using the community drone watch she created. We talked a lot about groundhogs yesterday. Of course, the most important one, Manitoba Merv, saw his shadow. But we didn't talk about polar bears. The Toronto Zoo's polar bear Hudson has improbably predicted we've had enough of winter and that there will be an early spring. He really thought about there being 6 more weeks of winter, but perhaps even polar bears haven't had enough of the recent polar-like conditions in Toronto. The race heats up to build Canada's next submarine. South Korea's Hanwha may sail a submarine across the Pacific this spring as competition intensifies to land Canada's submarine contract. CTV's Judy Trin with more on the South Korean pitch.
A deep dive into what could be the biggest defense procurement in Canada's history, the purchase of up to 12 submarines.
Because this has now evolved into a government-to-government situation. It's a big procurement. This is going to be a relationship with the winner for years, decades to come.
To persuade, the South Korean Navy plans to sail the KSS-3 submarine across the Pacific and dock in British Columbia, a journey that will take 2 months.
Your hands up here. Okay.
CTV News also got to see Hanwha's pitch up close. We couldn't film because of security protocols, but the attack submarine holds about 50 sailors. It launches vertical missiles that target land and has torpedoes. But the deciding factor will rest on economic benefits. To win the contract, Hanwha is pledging to help hard-hit businesses, like investing $345 million in Algoma to buy its steel and help it build a plant to make beams.
It's been tough as tariffs have been in place for a year and half of our business has gone away.
While some companies are hurting, others are looking for ways to expand. Using robotic technology, Hanwha builds 45 ships annually on its assembly line. Speed, Ontario's shipyards want to emulate.
I mean, what they do here is cutting edge. It's absolutely fantastic. If we can bring just a fraction of that to Canada, I think us as a country would be a lot further ahead in our shipbuilding endeavors.
The deadline for Hanwha and TKMS to submit their bids is March 2nd. It's a deal that could be worth $100 billion spread over more than 3 decades. It's investment that Canada needs to protect itself from Donald Trump's trade war.
Here's a look right now at what's going on Donald Street. Things are moving well here. Looks like a smooth drive this morning. If you have any other problems out on the streets, please text them to us. Here's a look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average stands at $1.28. The provincial average is $1.20. It's the same for Winnipeg. And the lowest price in the city is $1.12. All this information is on gasbuddy.com. Time now for our responses to our question of the day. We wanted to know if you could go on a cruise, where would you go? Shelley just got back from the Western Caribbean. She would go again anytime, but always a dream to go on an Alaskan tour. Susan would love to go on an Alaskan tour as well. Cheryl would love to try a river cruise down the Danube at some point in her life. Paul would take a cruise in Canada's Arctic. He says Canada's Arctic is so beautiful and often forgotten by Canadians. If I could go on a cruise, it would be Alaska, said Louise. Henry shared, if I could go on a cruise, I would love to visit Europe. Mark would go to Hawaii. James would love to go on a Caribbean cruise, exploring every port. Kelly would love to go to the Yukon Territories area. It's beautiful around there. And Cheryl texted, a Tahitian cruise is one of the best I've been on. Thank you so much for your responses. Maybe you want to take a cruise down to the Ice Fishing Shack at Fort White Alive. That is where Ainsley McPhail is live this morning. Good morning.
There's no place like home, Rochelle, an experience that you might have north or elsewhere, right here at Fort White Alive. It's Turtle Tours. Ashley and Jaylee Smith join me once again. It is really neat being able to just drive from the outskirts of the city right in, and it being so accessible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we, like I said before, I think it's really great that we have the opportunity to bring this outdoor experience to city people and just teach them how to fish and things like that. And people who have fished before, we welcome all kinds of experiences and ages. Yeah.
Kind of give people a bit of an introduction. Would you recommend families?
Oh, definitely. Families. Again, it's 6 to 8 people. We have 6 holes pre-drilled for you. Corporate groups are very welcomed. You can come out and just bond with your peers and everything. And then birthday parties is also another good thing to do in the winter.
I promise it won't be as dead silent as it is in this room right now. I think people just are trying to not be rude as we're ice fishing. Although I have been told you shouldn't be super loud when you're trying to catch fish.
Yeah, it scares them away. So we got to whisper.
That might be it, Rochelle. That might be it. What are your best recommendations for the fishing itself? How does the setup all look when you come in?
So what you can expect is all the drill holes will be pre-drilled. We have our wood here. We have the fire going for you. So you come in and you already feel cozy once you get through that walk here. And yeah, so you can also add on a 1-hour guide, and we also add on fishing rods in your fishing gear. So if you don't have any, that can be added onto your booking too.
Mm-hmm. And so you can expect to be fully equipped. How can people find you?
They can find us at turtletours.ca, and we're open Saturdays and Sundays from 9 till 4. We do half-day bookings and full-day bookings.
Thank you so much. Didn't catch one this morning, Rochelle. If only I had known that I had to be quiet. Now I know. Darn.
Next time. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. How's it feeling there, Terry?
So, honestly, I'm excited about today. The warm-up will happen. It hasn't happened yet, so it's still feeling a little bit chilly out here. Minus 22 is where our temperature currently sits, and it feels like minus 32 once you're factoring in that breeze. Although the breeze, light to moderate, and it'll stay that way today. It's a 15K wind right now out of the south-southeast. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 81%. If you're working outside today, it's not going to be a bad day. It will be warmer than it's been, with these temperatures expected to climb to seasonal values, maybe even slightly above. But unlike the beautiful sunny day that we enjoyed yesterday, though it was cold, today we're going to see the sunshine disappearing as the clouds continue to build. And with the clouds will likely come a little bit of light snow. And it's not just for today. We could still see some flurries lingering into tomorrow as well. And that's pretty much going to be the case across the entire province, northern Manitoba right down into the south. Now, the difference that you're going to see is with the temperatures from the eastern side to the western side, or the western side to the eastern side, western Manitoba will be considerably milder today, getting just a few degrees below the freezing mark. We'll be closer to seasonal, but tomorrow it continues to warm up here on the eastern side as well, and in fact continues to warm into Thursday, and we could hit plus digits. If only for a day, then dropping a little bit Friday. We'll see the sunshine after a few cloudy days ahead. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
February marks Heart Month, a campaign dedicated to raising awareness about cardiovascular health and preventing heart disease. And today we're hearing from an Ontario mother hoping to share the warning signs for women. ABC's Tara Narula reports.
At 41 years old, PE teacher Lindsay McCodrum thought she was the picture of health.
I'm a pretty avid runner and I'm a super healthy person. I watch what I eat. Hello.
But a family vacation to New York City last summer revealed the scary truth. On a bike ride with her family through Central Park, Lindsay told her husband she didn't feel well, stepped off her bike, and collapsed.
My color went like gray and my lips started to go blue and I just I wasn't moving.
Her 19-year-old stepson, Maddox, who had been recertified in CPR just the week before, recognized she was in cardiac arrest and started CPR.
My dad was like,
and shock, kind of froze up a bit. And then that's kind of when I'm like, that's kind of when we have to start it.
Bystanders called 911, and a doctor who happened to be on the scene took over CPR. Lindsay says paramedics shocked her 7 times before her heart started again.
Cardiac arrest is a condition in which the heart stops pumping. For somebody who's otherwise young, healthy, in great shape, exercises regularly, it's extraordinarily rare.
Lindsay was rushed to Mount Sinai Hospital, where doctors said she had less than a 10% chance of surviving. Her parents flying in to say goodbye. When she did improve, the Canadian mom learned she had a weakening of her heart muscle called cardiomyopathy, caused by a gene mutation. But there were warning signs she ignored.
I remember feeling exhausted on a couple of my runs before this happened. And I remember telling a couple of my friends saying, oh, I think I'm getting older. I'm getting out of shape.
Lindsay, forever proud of Maddox for saving her life, has a message.
If something feels off, you need to get it checked out. And CPR saves lives. Everyone needs to be trained in CPR.
February is Black History Month. It's a chance to celebrate and highlight the culture and accomplishments Black Canadians have made in our communities. The organization Black Artists Winnipeg is putting on a number of events and programs this month, including a fashion show at the Winnipeg Art Gallery. And joining us now are Black Artists Winnipeg founder Olivia Cassie and local designer Marie-Rosette Mikulu. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, this is a big month. There's a lot of different events happening throughout the city, throughout the province. What do you want Manitobans to think about for Black History Month?
I think it's important that Manitobans recognize that Black history is very much still relevant in the present moment. It's not something that we can shelve as something that happened in the ancient past. It still influences the day-to-day infrastructures of how our cities are built, and also social relationships and community.
Okay, and so there's many different events that people could check out, including the fashion show, which we'll get to. What do you want people to think about? Where can they find more information on some of the many different events happening?
The Black History Month Committee of Winnipeg has a calendar with all of the events happening this month.
Okay.
There are many. Some days there are multiple events a day, different areas, different genres of events, so something for everyone.
And everyone is welcome to attend, right?
Yes.
Okay, and why is that important?
I think it's important because accessibility is something that's really relevant today. We want people to be able to engage with the community and participate in our events, you know, not just as spectators, but as people who are actively involved.
Okay, let's talk about this fashion show. It's happening at the Winnipeg Art Gallery.
Yes.
There are many different designers, right? Tell us about the designers and then we'll get to yours.
So this year we have 2 designers.
Okay.
We have Inspiré Delikia by Marie-Rosette Mikulu.
Yeah.
And we also have Choga Customs who's coming.
Okay.
So I'm very excited because this year we'll get to have some wedding dresses.
Ooh. And Marie-Rosette, you did bring a beautiful wedding dress with you.
Yes, I did.
Tell us a little bit about what inspires your designs.
But for me, this was part of my first bridal collection. So I've been doing this for 5 years. I was like, it is time for me to go into that because that was the reason why I started. So this is a beaded lace, and everything is hand beaded, hand sewed in my studio here in Winnipeg. Wow. It is custom to Olivia measurement. That's what I specialize in. So here we have the lace, and we have some sheer mesh. It is based on the skin tone of the person wearing the dress. I had a lot of help with this with my friend because Crafted was coming, and we have lace here, and all this here was hand sewed on the dress.
And it is stunning. You're also wearing some of your designs, so are you.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what is happening here.
So this is a cupped corset. So usually you will see a lot of people wearing the cup corset, but usually the cup are not at the on their size. That's why you will see spillage and it's not fitting well. So usually what happens is that people can have the same amount, you know, here up here, but it is like bra. When you're wearing a bra, sometimes it doesn't fit well in the cup. Properly. Exactly. Yes. So that's why I do. That's what I do. Usually, I will, depending on the measurement of the bust, I will custom that to fit everyone perfectly. Because at the end of the day, the most important for me it is the fit.
A very cool look as well. And your skirt is one of your own designs as well, which is lovely. What do you want people to know about the fashion show? When is it happening?
It's on Sunday, February 8th at noon. It's a free event, no registration required. Part of Canada Life Free Sundays at the WAG. I want people to know that fashion is a way of telling stories. Historically, fashion has been designated a craft because it was primarily women's work. But I think nowadays we're trying to reconcile the fact that this is art. You know, you can use beadwork and you can use texture and you can use shape and cut to tell stories too.
Well, again, if you want more information, we have a link on our website. Thank you to both of you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
All right, you can see those extra clouds, how they've been stacking up over the course of the morning. Blue sky disappearing, but enjoy the last few moments of it before it's gone entirely. And then once it does disappear, it'll be gone for the next few days. Minus 22 right now, but it feels like minus 32 with south-southeast winds, 15 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising. The humidity is sitting at 81%. So you can see heavier clouds. They've been moving in, and with the clouds, you can see the darker gray. That's some flurry activity, and many of us across the entire province will perhaps see some scattered snow off and on. And maybe not just today. It could linger into tomorrow, too. The heavier clouds I mentioned will be lasting over the next few days. The mercury, though, on the rise. Minus 10 is seasonal. We could go just beyond it today, even more so tomorrow, and shockingly so on Thursday, up into the plus digits before it dips a little bit Friday. That'll be as the sunshine returns, but those heavier clouds and the mild temperatures will be back for the coming weekend. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Show you some videos before we say goodbye. We kick things off with a little nostalgia from the 90s.
Ooh.
Okay, we're pretending it's the 90s, okay? You're living outside now. You don't come in.
Tonight we're gonna come in.
No, I mean you come in when you sleep, and you come in if you're bleeding. Otherwise.
This mom is remembering the good old days of parenting, telling her kids to stay outside and play and not to come in until it's dark or if they're injured.
Oh, I remember that.
Mother would lock the door. And speaking of the good old days before Taylor Swift, this music icon had some unforgettable eras.
Are you ready for this very important lesson? Okay. This is Toxic Britney. Can you say toxic? Toxic, yeah. Okay.
That's right. We're talking about Britney Spears. A 1-year-old Sloane is getting a lesson on the Princess of Pop's impact on the music scene. The quick course came complete with costume characters as well. And lastly, a dad who needs to chill out.
She just let her go under. Do you think it can help her? Water all in her mouth? No.
This is Tyler's first time watching his daughter's swim lesson, and he feels like he's in the deep end. It was a full roller coaster of emotion.
That's what instructors are for.
Exactly. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.